Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. Mer- So, on the docket this week, we have Herblore activity. Pretty exciting week. We got
Herb.
quite a few things to go over. Hopefully, Herb taught.
Yeah, I thought that there was gonna be nothing to go over, so I'm very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, definitely some stuff to talk about,
Yeah,
including the project rebalance, a little bit of adjustments yet again.
to the item combat.
Yes, and also, yeah, I forgot that this is like the second
No, there's a
one.
billion of
Yeah,
these.
so yeah, this is the item and combat adjustments, and then we have a Varlamore tweaks, and this is this week's update, which is not going to be much because there is a game jam.
Scam jam
We do
time.
not know much about it, unfortunately, so we'll just be going over on whatever they happen to give us this week.
Yeah, hopefully they post something on the for the second half of this episode.
Yeah, sometimes they post teasers.
There's like one that I've seen on Twitter so far, but usually
Yeah.
there's more.
And then we'll be finishing off with our Q&A as per usual.
Hmm.
So if you want to join, feel free to ask questions on any of our socials, or feel free to go to our discord.gg/boonbape. We have a questions section there, or you can just ask in general, I guess, if you really want.
Yeah, and
And
also join our movie nights in Discord.
yeah, and ask us anything. We'll be more than happy to more than likely answer it. But before
They left it up in the air there. We have been neglecting race questions.
yeah, I mean, we
Once.
have gotten to them from time to time.
We've had it for a year though.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, before I pass it over to you, like per usual,
Uh-huh.
I thought I'd do a little segue. I've already done this in private and know she's not making me do it, but I felt the need to do a little bit of an apology in public. For anyone that listened to last week's episode, I let my pride get the better part of me.
He was having a bad day.
And I could not admit when I was wrong.
What
And
did the Inquisitors?
Michelle was right in every regard about the Inquisitor stuff. And not only that, but she is by far more of an expert on OSRS than myself.
Well, I sure hope it does. I am.
Yeah, but maybe not on talking. So we still have ways to go.
Oh, but yeah. Someone he told me like the day after because he did seem like weirdly moody at the end, and I was like really confused by it. And then the day after, he was like, "Oh yeah, I was just annoyed that I was wrong about it." Someone did reply to the podcast.
I didn't even read it because I told her within the same 24 hours that I knew I was wrong.
Yeah, someone said something mean on Spotify, but we have bad days sometimes, you guys. Okay, it's
Yeah.
fine.
I figured it would
Don't be mean.
be I was like weighing on whether I should have left it in or just redone it. But in the moment, I just decided that it was, more of
It's
like,
podcast. You just keep it
yeah,
in.
more of like what really happened to leave it in, and then
Mhm.
just, say afterwards that it was a mistake.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he was that torn up about it until the next day he told me, and I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, it was mostly I was mad at myself
For not being it wrong.
for not, yeah, for not correcting my mistake in the moment.
No one likes admitting when they're wrong. Whenever I am wrong personally and people call me out, I like to, instead of just being like, oh, you're right, I'm just like, just let me have this.
Yeah,
And that's how I deal with it.
but
Personally.
yeah. Anyways, we will move on with the typical show.
Yeah,
And it's not like if you didn't listen to last week's episode, it's not worth going back and listening
it
to it.
really wasn't important. He just
Yeah,
didn't realize the Inquisitor was the best in slots some places.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that being said, we do have more Inquisitor stuff to talk about, so I figured I would get that out of the way.
You again.
But before we get into all of the Inquisitor stuff, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going well. I have a lot of updates. It's not funny. It's
Okay.
not funny.
Why are you laughing then?
Because I was gonna say,
Are you
I
laughing at what I think you're laughing at?
it's not funny. I feel like
All right, guys, prepare yourself because this is some non-human stuff she's about to say.
it's not funny. Next week's episode might be extra short because my grandpa passed away and I have to go to his funeral. I found out when I was live the other day and I don't know how to deal with feelings, so it was a really weird stream. And I'm not giggling about it. I'm giggling because I feel weird.
Whatever you say.
It's randomly on like a Wednesday, so we'll see how long the episode is next week. And next week's my birthday.
Yeah, we might do some
Oh, wait,
on
maybe in 2 weeks.
Well, regardless, we might do some on Tuesday and then on Thursday, or maybe just all Thursday. We haven't decided yet.
Yeah, this week and the next couple weeks are just like all gonna be kind of weird because we randomly have a lot of stuff going on Wednesdays.
We do.
It's kind of strange. But anyway, so moving on from that, this week I did a bingo event with Nunu Nels. It was like a Tetris bingo. It was so much fun. We ended up getting second place, which was 20 mil for everyone on the team, which is
Couple bucks.
exciting. I also was doing like a lot of solo bandos and I got some good drops. So I got a hilt, which was 18 mil. I already had a hilt before, so it was like really cool. I got a Banner's chest plate, which was 28 mil, which was also a collection log slot. And then I got boots two different times, which are not worth gold, but one of them was a collection log slot and the other one was just crazy. And all four of those uniques were within 31 KC. Like, I was getting so spooned.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
pretty good.
nuts. I was enjoying myself. I also kept dying because I'm not good at solo God War Dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think that's probably. I think that's like one of those bosses where it's like a lot easier in a group.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Like
it's
all of
just
them.
it's like I could potentially stay like not die, but I'm that person that lets my health get a little too low, you know? I'm just like, it's fine, he's almost dead. I'll blood barrage and then I die.
To be
And I
fair,
also overstay my welcome, like I'm out of supplies and I'll stay.
I think Garage Door has like a fairly common like stack of like over 70. So
Yeah, the minions were killing me sometimes too.
yeah, you can get killed pretty easily
Yeah.
there.
Because I was like maging them, so whenever like I would get meleeed on accident, like I have no defenses.
Well, the thing is, I think he can hit you for like 40 or 50 through prayer, and then if the minions hit you on top of that, then you're just taking a lot of
Yeah,
damage.
no, the minions, like the ranger and the melee one would hit me like 10, 10. And I'm
Yeah.
like, please, like
Like
10,
it's
10,
I
20s.
think on like the strategies, it's recommended to pretty much be at max health as much as possible.
Yeah. And I'm a silly Billy and I love to camp low health now. I don't know why I've developed that toxic trait. I'm literally blaming subs for it because subs used to always do that.
I don't know. You remember when Masori was first introduced and it was supposed to be a set that made it so you did more damage the less health you had?
No, I don't.
I'm pretty sure that was the original pitch of Masori.
Was it? Was it
Yeah.
just like a new Darox, but range?
Yeah.
I could see it being a thing. I just don't
Like,
remember.
and Masori wasn't the Masori outfit we know it
It
now.
was like the weird bird thing.
No, I was gonna say it had a necklace.
I need to go look at this. This sounds
Yeah,
like a fever dream.
I'm
I'm
almost,
convinced this
I'm
is
almost
real.
certain that was the original idea. And so I was
That
like,
literally sounds like something that I would say, and then 5 minutes later be like, "Oh wait, no, that was just a vivid dream I had. Never mind."
yeah, I'll look it up while you continue
Okay.
talking about the rest of your stuff.
Yeah, so we did bingo. We also sent some chambies for bingo, and I got a Dex in my name, which is pretty cool. I still haven't split that with everyone, so I don't really know if I'm going to, but money. And Aloe got an arcane that he split, so that was like 1 mil. I don't care if it's lame. I'm taking 1 mil splits. I'm building my cash stack back up. My cash stack's actually like 80 mil right now. I think it's a little bit less because next month I'm going to be doing Tina's bingo. And Tina did a thing. It's actually very cute because, most bingos, or maybe you don't know, most bingos, like you sign up and then it's kind of like dodgeball, like just picking teams one at a time. And you're not guaranteed to be on anyone's team. So Tina made it so if you pay an extra 5 mil for you and your partner, that you can sign up as a duo and you guys are guaranteed to be together.
Yeah,
So me and Megan did that. And Tina's bingo has an expensive buy-in. So we paid 25 mil each.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's nice because
We're not making money from anything really, but
yeah, exactly.
we did
So
it together.
and it's I was gonna say I was saying originally whenever you told me the price that it's nice because it'll kind of make it so like only more, whatever serious players are gonna be there.
No, Tina's like so like she's like a bigger streamer for sure, I'd say, and like more on
Yeah,
community because
yeah,
she's like a crazy ultimate. She's like, I'm only doing 100 people this time. Last time was too much people. She
yeah,
got 100 people within 2 days.
yeah.
And
No,
now I think she's
it makes sense.
considering opening it to 120 because it's not even till the end of May.
She should no. She should just
Just
keep
keep
it
it.
at 120, and then she'll know for next time to raise the buy-in. Because that's, I mean, that's how
Yeah.
capitalism works, right? Like if so many people sign up immediately, then raise it to
It's
50,
expensive.
raise it to 50 mil, because then less people would sign up, or less of the same
Yeah.
people.
She asked if me and Megan want to be captains. Megan said she's interested, and I was like, I don't know. I feel like I'd be a really bad captain because I'm being very open, like with Nella's, with Tina's, and there's another bingo I'm joining that I'll mention in a second. But I'm very much being open and telling people I'm playing casually. I'm still gonna go outside and touch grass. I'm not gonna no life this, which I feel
Loser.
like's not good for a captain. I feel
Yeah,
like captain's got to be online at all
the
times.
ultimate lose boy.
I feel like that's a thing.
I think that's expected, but also that's I've kind of noticed over the years that the people that I find to be better players, so I don't know, well, like people that I like would rally around as a captain more often, played not the most.
Like there's
Which
more behind the scenes stuff,
there,
or what?
well, one, it seemed like they had more stuff, more of their stuff together. Like they were more organized, knew what they were doing, had a plan, which I think is really important.
I feel like Megan would be
And
good at coming up with it. I'm just intimidated. So maybe she could be the captain. I'm the co-captain or something.
yeah, like they had different traits, and all of them didn't have the trait of playing the most.
Yeah.
So I don't know why
Okay.
that is, but I've noticed that over the years.
Yeah, I do. I was gonna start a group chat with like Megan and Tina maybe because yeah, Megan was like, "I'm down," and I was like, "That's scary." Like I'm kind of intimidated.
Yeah,
Even though Tina like literally said it's fine, I'm still. I guess I'm just afraid no one will want to be on our team,
yeah,
which they don't have a choice. They'd
that's
have
cool.
to if that happens. She might have already found someone by now. I'm also in a couple weeks going to be doing Squishy's Bingo, Squishy Life. She's a streamer as well. That one, I'm trying to get Megan to sign up as well, but Megan's like, she's like, dude, I'm gonna sound like such a diva because she's like, if I'm not Michelle's team, I'm gonna quit and not play.
Wow.
It's not like she's not doing it to be mean. She just has social anxiety
Yeah.
and has bad experiences with
I
people in
mean,
the
you
community
always,
before.
whenever you go to a new class, you want to sit with your friend.
Exactly. And I'm like her mom, so like especially she'd want to sit with me.
Okay, that's even weirder. That's cool. I did very briefly dig up the original Tombs of a Mascot raid rewards
So yeah, tell us real
from
quick.
10 August 2021.
2021? It's
Yes,
been that long?
10 August 2021. This is the
Did
initial rewards.
wasn't it released in September 2020?
It was revised in October, so definitely not.
When did we?
I don't know. I'm not going to look that
Yeah,
up because I already
that's a
found what I
different
was looking
issue.
for. So the original Masori equipment included the helmet, chest piece, chain skirt, and amulet.
Oh
And the
my!
special effect is you have a low life item equipped. You will gain additional stat bonuses when you're below 40% of your base hit points.
I'm assuming everyone voted that no because they're like, this is just like Darox.
I mean it got voted no for whatever reason. So
That's so weird. That was such a throwback. I don't know how you even remembered that.
dude,
It's been almost 3 years, man.
yeah.
You're like, do you remember that blog
I was like, you
post?
remember that, dude? I remember
I
that.
was convinced you're gonna look it up and just like not mention it and be like, never mind.
I mean, there's only been two low life items in the game ever, even
Low
suggested.
life.
No, you said you like camping low life.
No, I know. I just wanted it to sound funny because I'm like a
Yeah, you
scumbag.
just make it about you. That's cool. Go ahead.
Another drop that we got was a rapier, which is a twin mill split. So I'm making so much money back, and I'm gonna make even more back. We're looking at this in positive light because no more boss bashes because I've given up on fundraising.
If anyone misses, she made an announcement today that she will be passively fundraising for
Yeah,
RuneFest and
not doing the weekly
not
streams.
doing the weekly events for it.
We were talking about finances last night, and I was like, huh, "Whoops, I'm kind of a goofy goober, aren't I?" So if we get the money, if there's oil royalty that wants to give us the money to go, that's great. I'm not going to be like fundraising as much. And another thing, I'm out of cosplays at this point.
Yeah.
I really do want to be like an occasional cosplay streamer though. So like check out my wish list, and hopefully I actually had an interview yesterday, so hopefully I could get this job and I could just buy my own cosplay supplies.
Wow.
Would be huge.
That would be crazy.
But no more fundraising for the time being, which is weird because it's been 12 weeks of it. I'm just so used to doing it on
Really,
Fridays.
12 weeks?
It was 12 weeks. Yeah. That's why it also felt like a good note to end on. I was like, oh, it's a very like solid number.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, I was literally doing it in January. But yeah, so it's just weird, but I'm okay with it kind of. I'm a little sad, but I'm trying to get excited about other stuff about like people coming here during TwitchCon And also, Alo's gonna come and visit in July, so I'm just like looking forward to that stuff instead.
Anyone,
So I'm
most
not
people don't
sad.
know Aloe.
You
He
guys
is
should
a
know
he's a
Alo.
frequenter of the stream.
Yeah, Alo's a Twitch goer who we met through Nella, right?
Yeah, I think they're a mod on Nilla stream, right?
I think so. We've definitely talked about Aloe because we talked about how in Vegas he was just sitting there like maxing while we were at Hell's Kitchen on his phone.
Yeah,
But yeah, Aloe's gonna come visit, and then other people are gonna be here in September. So I'm like trying to be positive and just think about that and how that's gonna be fun, rather than letting my FOMO get the best of me, but also still secretly hoping we somehow get enough money
yeah.
because I'm delusional. But yeah, how have you been?
I
I had a
have.
lot. I told you I had a lot.
That was a lot, which is good because there's not a lot this week. So
Exactly.
we try to fill it with a little bit more stuff in the
I
beginning.
kept writing notes this week, and I was like, "Dang, I'm gonna have a lot to talk about." I was happy.
Anyway, this week I don't really have a lot to share. I played a little bit of Elder Scrolls and did some studying, so typical stuff. But we do have some community highlights that I thought were definitely worth mentioning, and by definitely worth, I mean we do have a world first, never completed before, even remotely, done by the famous, ever famous Port Kazard.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
So everyone knows that the Inferno is one of, if not the most difficult piece of content in the game.
Supposedly, Coliseum's harder, depending who you ask, though.
Depending on who you ask, well, most people would say that not only does it require, max gear, but, max everything,
Skill, which
ideally.
we don't have.
But there are some people that have gotten it to a science and are quite a bit better than your average bear, Porkazard being one of them for sure.
Oh yeah,
So Porkazard was able to do the insane, unthinkable accomplishment,
never done before.
never even conceived by most,
Who would even think about doing
of
this?
having completed the Inferno without overhead protection prayers.
Know how that's physically possible, man. We're all just there's no
Crazy.
video yet, right?
There
I'm
is
sure they
no
took a
video
video.
that I can see.
There better be a
There
video.
is a picture of the account. It does have like things like 99 range and stuff like that, so,
Yeah.
and a Tebow. So he didn't go without
Yeah.
top tier gear, but
So their overhead prayers are hidden.
he had like 31 prayer or something like that.
It wasn't even enough. I thought it was just like
No, he didn't even have it available to him.
I thought it was just like hit it.
No,
So this was like an account specifically
it
for
was an
them.
account made for this adventure.
Dude, I think I play this game a lot, and then I'm just like, man,
I,
I've never played this game in my life.
I think it was actually 33 prayer
Yeah.
because 34 is when you get the melee overhead.
Huh? What the heck?
So, yeah, pretty crazy.
That's so cool though. Jeezy, big Jeezy to Porksard.
Yeah, another shout out to what will more than likely, unless something crazy happened,
Huh?
be a world first. Will be the world first to complete the actual game of old school RuneScape collection logging. He's definitely on his way. Hey Jace, obviously, is well known for his collection log, and he's the first person ever to complete the Master Clue collection.
Think about how much RNG is involved with that. Some of those drops?
Yeah,
How
very
many
crazy.
how many master clues have they done?
Quite a few. I don't even
It's too
know.
tiny to see in the screenshot.
Yeah, I don't. Wait. Oh, 4,935 master clues.
Bro, you know a lot of those drops are more than 1 out of 4K.
Yeah, people have said that based on average time to completion of the items that remain in his collection log, he is number one as far
Oh yeah,
as.
because they won't tell us the ranks, right?
Yeah, well, his via the collection log rank plugin, he is ranked 27, but based on the remaining items and the time to
I
get those
know.
remaining items, he is
So
rank one.
technically not as much, but has more rares than the other ranks.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day I read stuff like this, and I'm like, man, I want to be a collection logger. And then I go to Top, and I'm like, oh my god, a collection log, I have to get drops here too. I am actively trying to be a collection logger. I'm just not getting the uniques.
Yeah.
It blows my mind.
Um, yeah,
Any other crazy
that's
things?
definitely where these community highlights peak. The rest are just going to be some interesting
Should
things
save those for
that
last.
people might want to know.
Okay.
Um, is this is actually pretty good because I never really thought about this. Obviously, I haven't played any Varlamore, so I really wasn't on my radar. But someone did
You need to
mention
look in for it. You'll love it.
the Hunter's Sunlight Crossbow is a direct upgrade to the Magic Short Bow Imbued.
Interesting.
That being
I feel like
said,
we did talk about that
there
before.
is a good argument for the
It has
magic
to be.
short bow imbued because it does still have a very good special attack.
Special attack really makes it good.
Yeah, but that being said, it does just straight up in every aspect outclass the magic short bow with range strength, actual range strength, and having an offhand.
Cool. I didn't
So,
realize it was only one-handed too.
well, yeah, it's a crossbow.
Are all crossbows one-handed?
Yeah,
Oh.
the ones that aren't are javelins.
I just think of in real life how a crossbow seems very heavy. And
Yeah,
holding with one hand seems weird.
that's one thing about RuneScape that is like
Every
kind of
weapon should be
different.
two-handed.
Well, no, because there even back in the day there were crossbows, but they were called hand crossbows specifically,
Okay.
which is that differentiation.
Yeah.
Because yeah, most were definitely two-handed, especially to draw the bowstring back was kind of crazy.
How does our character do it?
No one, no one knows actually.
Most unrealistic part of this game.
Um,
Not the dragons.
Honestly, I guess that is it. The other stuff I do want to bring up for
In relation to the notes, I'm guessing.
yeah, I do. I definitely want to bring up quite a few things from the notes because a lot of people actually got really sad about something in particular that you might not have guessed,
Okay.
but it was Hunter Kebitz.
I did see the update. I didn't notice that that was a bug.
Yes, we will save that until we get there.
Yeah.
First,
Oh,
though,
I have one more thing.
what is it?
My birthday is next week, and I'm gonna do a special little birthday stream. I already stream Wednesdays anyway, so Wednesday, May 1st, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, my normal stream time, but we're gonna be doing mass chambies and like 28 mil in giveaways because it's my 28th birthday.
Not
And
280
just,
mil?
oh my god. No. Just fun birthday things. So
Not
come stop by.
28 bill?
I wish. Can you imagine how cool it'd be to give that away? I know it's
No.
such a small community, be like one bill each person.
I'm almost certain everyone would be asking, "Where's the rest?"
Dude, that reminds me of a few years ago whenever I did
Yeah.
a drop party on my birthday, and there were strangers there, and they're like, "This isn't worth anything," and I'm like, "It's my birthday. This is just supposed to be for fun," and they're like, "Oh, okay."
They were much less nice than that.
Were
But
they
yeah.
mean? I think once
Um,
it was my birthday, they stopped being mean.
yeah.
They just stopped talking, probably. Anyway.
Um, but that's it. Yeah, her birthday is next week, so that's why we said everything is weirdly on a Wednesday.
Yep.
Something not on a Wednesday though. Herblore Activity Varlin War Part 2.
I thought it came out today, and I was like, "This was on a Wednesday."
No, not yet.
You're right.
So, on the mainland, herblore has existed in much the same way since the druids first honed their craft. In Varlamore, however, it's a little bit different. The lush island of
Alderin.
I'm always gonna want to call this Alderaan because of Star Wars. So if I
Mhm.
do, then that's what it is.
Not just the way it was intended.
Hopefully, it doesn't end up the same as Alderaan.
Yeah.
So this is the perfect locale for Varlamore's alchemists to grow and study herbs. Through intense study, they've discovered that all herbs contain a set of basic alchemical elements. This is kind of getting weird,
It's
but
okay. Just continue with the lore.
yeah,
It's fine.
anyways, in their lab, they serve the kingdom by mixing up potions in exchange for time and resources required to continue their studies. However, with the influx of visitors, they need more.
Yeah. Orders have gone through the roof.
Yeah, so you're gonna hopefully lend them a hand and they will teach you how to do it.
Yeah. Gameplay. Before we begin, please know that this is early stages. This is not set in stone, you guys.
As if you couldn't tell, because their picture of the arena
picture's
is
hilarious.
literally made of just a
Blocks.
few pixels.
Yeah. People are probably still already complaining, though. Anyway, as we previously mentioned a long time ago, this activity is not intended to supplement the classic Herblore experience. As such, we're not aiming for high XP per hour. Instead, we want to focus on the production aspect of Herblore and provide an alternative training that is not just bank standing.
Also, just to clarify, Michelle did not say supplicant or
Oh,
no, I don't know.
neither did you.
I don't know what you were trying to say, but you definitely
Supplant.
yes, you did not emphasize the supplant part.
Is it actually supplant?
Yes.
That sounds goofy. I said supplant. It sounds
Yeah.
like succulent.
I don't know what you said, but it wasn't
It's
supplant.
like a orangutan mistake.
Yeah.
They're
So
like to orangutan if you know you don't.
for anyone that isn't familiar with supplant, they just
Just
don't
replace.
Yeah, they don't want to replace the original herblore.
Yeah, I hate when they use their fancy English words. Anyway.
I think it's supplant maybe could be a herblore reference.
Oh, it is a plant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why I assumed it wasn't pronounced. Okay, it's fine, whatever. As such, this activity is targeted at players with 70 plus Herblore, although lower level players can still join the fun. After a small quest explaining the fundamentals of alchemy, you'll have free reign to start filling out orders. The activity is free to enter, and you can leave at any time, although you'll need to bring your own herbs. BYOH. Alchemy doesn't use secondary ingredients. Instead, you'll be processing herbs into basic elements and using the results to brew potions. Before we dive in the process, and then they have their pixels.
Yeah.
Want to describe the pixels to us?
So essentially, there's going to be a bank chest where you get your herbs. The mill and the mixer will be in the middle. The processing machine just above that, and then you'll deliver the processed goods to the counters above that. So it's like kind of goes in the middle and then up.
It's like a little factory
Very,
line,
very
assembly
simple.
line.
It's literally a circle with some tables, is what it seems like.
Yeah, and remember, very early representation.
Clearly,
of
yeah.
this. Your orders are listed on an overlay interface, meaning you can easily keep track of the potions on your list, along with the time remaining to fulfill the order. All potions have two components to watch out for: the modifier and the base, i.e., concentrated Mason's tonic. That's one example they give.
Sure.
Once you've picked an order to work on, your first job is to break down your herbs into a paste using the herb mill. Then put this paste into the mixer, which will convert them into usable base elements, which they are calling lye, aga, and mox, or lamb for short.
Lambs?
I'm not reading this.
Yeah. So essentially,
Not you.
essentially, just to sum it up, they're putting different herbs in different skill brackets corresponding to different component types. So
Yes.
the higher end ones like Renar and Snapdragon will be lye, middle of the ground ones like Dwarfweed and Toadflax will be aga, and beginner ones like Guam and Harlander will be mox.
You said Snapdragon in the beginning, right?
Yep.
Snapdragon's.
It's lye.
I thought lye was the worst. Lie's the best.
Yes.
Mox is the worst.
And even among those, they will also have different values as well. It's just they're grouped and then they have individual values on top of that.
You know, what reminds me of actually is Tithe Farm, how you have like the different seeds and stuff with different values at first.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they even go further in that you'll be able to one tick flick levers in order to mix 10 distinct potions. They list the potions. The names are not
I
important.
like Mix a Lot. Sir Mix a Lot.
Where?
Mix a Lot. That's MAL. What's your favorite?
MAL,
You
Mix a
just
Lot.
like a Goosebane vibe.
Okay. There we go. And then
Yourself, Robert.
yeah, so you can even mix things like
Relax.
the high level stuff and the low level stuff, one of each being high, medium, and low. Or it really doesn't matter. It seems like you can mix them in any regard, and you'll be able to make one of the 10 different potions.
This part, like the different combinations, reminds me of forestry whenever you were trying to figure out how to make the perfect compost.
Yeah, that's also kind of what reminds me.
Relating it to other stuff helps me understand it better.
Yeah, even though doesn't seem like that's how any of this works, but
There's different combos. You know what? That's all that I'm thinking.
there you go.
Now we have a base, we have to think about the modifier, which we apply using the appropriate processing machine. So there are three to choose from: the retort, the centrifuge, and the alembic. They apply to concentrated, homogeneous, sounds homophobic.
Homogeneous.
Oh, homogeneous, and crystallized modifiers, respectively. They also have different processing times. So the retort is passive with slow progress, centrifuge needs active interaction, progresses quickly, and the alembic processes instantly. So sounds like the best.
Maybe.
Maybe. In our example, the concentrated Mason's tonic that we mentioned, you'll need to use retort. Since this is a slow process, we have some downtime to focus on mixing up some of the other potions on our order list, although it won't be too long.
Weird.
Orders process, picked up your freshly brewed potions and once processed, pick them up and stick them on the delivery counter. And I was like, what is this saying? You'll be rewarded with points split between L, A, and M, being the herb types, for each correct potion you shipped before the order time's out.
And some probably some science nerd, but I did kind of pick up on this as well, so I thought it was kind of funny and worth pointing out for anyone else. But they do say that the centrifuge will make a homogeneous mixture, when in fact it's used to actually separate things. So kind of funny. It does the exact. I'm not the dweeb, because the person that said this is like, you might actually want to replace it with a vortex, and I've never heard of that before. So
That's a dweeb move.
shout out to them. Hopefully,
Cool kids are bad at science.
hopefully they don't change this out, but that's a really interesting thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So to recap,
Simple it down for us.
they have a 7-step process, which seems like too many steps, but either way, here we go. So you have to check the current order and select one. paying close attention to both the modifier and the name of the order. Head to the bank chest, grab the necessary herbs, break them down into paste using the mill, add the paste to the mixer to change them into lamb elements. Choose the correct combination of lamb elements based on the name and using the lever next to the mixer. Collect your potion base and select the right tool to give it the correct modifier. And once complete, put your potion on the delivery counter and enjoy your points.
Seems easy.
So that's the core gameplay sorted. Just in case you missed it earlier, we're not revealing XP rates, but it is going to be low XP.
What?
Unfortunately.
Like middle ground.
Yeah. So I thought before we get into the rewards, I thought we would talk about what do we think.
I think it actually sounds fun. It reminds me of working in a warehouse job. It reminds me of my old job.
Okay.
Right? Are you getting that vibe?
No, not at all.
Whenever we'd get like sales orders and be like, we need to pull this order.
I was not a.
Writing down our COAs.
Nope.
I've been applying to jobs, so I really have been looking at my resume a lot and reviewing my jobs. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think?
I was never in a position where I mixed elements. So
No, we didn't mix elements, but we mixed cannabinoids,
no, we didn't.
oils.
Nope.
Well, we put them into stuff.
Yes, we did.
See, I was mostly thinking, like pulling orders in the warehouse aspect. It
Yeah.
reminds me of that.
The
And-
orders are like the stuff in the orders are like elements. I'm the avatar.
What do you think? What are your thoughts? I think it actually sounds fun and simple.
The game itself sounds fine.
Yeah.
Um,
The XP I think should be not low. It should just be like middle.
the XP should be definitely not low. I don't know why.
I know they don't want to be
they chose
high
that.
because they want bank standing to be the best for some. I almost cussed for some strange reason.
Yes. Weird.
At least make it middle, like
Weird
medium.
justification. Not only is it not your own ingredients, or it is your own ingredients rather, which is worse, and it's also fairly active and it's low XP. So they're all like, you know what? Usually you take 2 of the good things, but they just give us none of the good things.
The one good thing is we're not bank standing at least because bank standing is boring.
I would rather bank stand and get 300k an hour than whatever they consider low XP.
True. I do worry that because it's low XP, and this is all so early, remember, it could change. The low XP could not even be that low. They could just have worded it very dramatically, but they probably is low.
It's probably low.
But it's
I would be
I don't know. It's just kind of like lame that the best option is bank standing. But at the same time, if the best option wasn't bank standing, I know secondaries values would all go down and that would make everything weird.
the thing is in Herblore, the secondaries are practically meaningless.
They are
Even
very cheap
even for
because everyone
irons.
just buys them.
I mean, the secondary for like Renars is not even like the most useful early potion is not even like hard to get.
What is it?
I don't even
Bird's
remember.
Nest?
Bird's Nest?
That's bruise.
No, yeah, what is it?
Man, not eyeballs. Snape grass.
Snape grass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you can
You
easily
just
just
open Falador.
go get. You know,
Thanks
the
for
eyes
helping him.
the eyes of Newt you can buy in bags of 200
That one's nice.
or 100
Just go to the
rather.
store.
And yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like the secondaries are pretty much a non-factor. If they made it so like every other herb got used, that would be kind of cool.
In the mini game, or oh,
Yeah,
because it's
in the
low
mini
speed.
game. So it's like
Something to make it worth a
it's
low
like
speed.
oh, you can make 2 potions worth of stuff if you just use 1 herb. And I'd be like, okay, you know, I got to put in an extra effort, but it saves me some core materials.
Yeah, something I worry about is for most people, like for me, I hate bank standing, so I might just do this anyway, no matter the XP. But for some people, they'll just go to do the collection log and that's it.
I mean, we're gonna get into the rewards because people are gonna do that because
Okay.
it might not be worth it.
No, I think the collection or the items are good. The rewards,
Okay.
I think, from what I remember.
So, getting into the rewards, we are going to start off with potion packs,
Untradables.
untradables. Well, the potion pack itself.
Yes.
So, the first reward is pretty straightforward 3 different packs, 1 for each of the lamb components. Each one is packed with potions made from the herbs you use to gain these points. For example, if you used Renar, Cadentine, Avanto, or Snapdragon,
Avinto.
you'll be able to buy an L potion pack featuring potions like prayer potions and super defense potions.
Yeah, stuff that those potions would make.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, okay, should we talk about them each as we go?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's actually okay. I mean, it's kind of like people who are too lazy to go and do stuff. It could be like, all right, my daily couple rounds here.
Yeah.
for potions. But it's not
So
guaranteed what you get.
it feels like a real double-edged sword for me
Okay, why?
because I think of things as an iron. If you're a main, you're just gonna do the viable version of this, so I don't really care.
Do things the weirdly iron way though.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's well, we'll talk about this in the form of an iron.
Okay.
So it's cool because if I have extra Cadentines or Avantos and I don't feel like making
Aventus.
those potions or they don't seem useful to me at the time, I can potentially try to get prayer potions by using those. That being said, it's only if that is the potion that is required at the time, which
Like if you aren't assigned ones that have L in it.
exactly,
Oh, it is on assignment.
if you are assigned the wrong one, then it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll just do Guam's.
And we'll just keep going and hope that I get an L one soon.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And
I
then
don't know. I wonder if you have any choice in it.
along those same lines, if all you have is Renard, because that's, you're like, other stuff's not that useful. I'm just picking up Renards right now. Why would you use a Renard and the chance of getting a super defense?
Yeah, because it's not guaranteed.
Chances are you're not going to unless you already have a lot of prayer potions.
This maybe would be better for like mains to just get potions to sell.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It reminds me of the herb sacks. What are they called? Herb packs at Nightmares
Yeah.
and stuff. Except for potentially worse. That was a good point.
Yeah, so I'm like not a really big fan of the potion packs because especially because it's random. If like maybe
Hmm.
all the L points you could be all like, all right, I want to buy any of these potions that the L's can make, then I'd be like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be too busted, but it being random is just not an incentive to me.
I feel like it being random is maybe not good enough, but it you choosing is probably too good, which puts it in a really
Yeah,
weird
exactly.
spot. I don't really know what they should do.
Straight up as an iron, I wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
Unless, like I said, if I had been doing it for a while, had with all my extra ones that I don't plan on using, and then was like, all right, hopefully I'll get some prayer potions that I normally wouldn't have, or, staminas or whatever, then I'll do that.
I guess it would work well for accounts that are locked in specific ways, maybe. Like if they're like choosing to lock themselves, or maybe
Yeah.
like tile accounts because they can't go to certain areas for secondaries.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I can really think of.
Is it unfortunate because I think if you're like down bad, an iron might find these useful, or a weirdly locked account
Yeah.
or an obscure account would
Otherwise,
maybe
it's
find
just
useful.
main selling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So keep in mind, my main concern with this entire activity isn't that it's bad, but that it'll be dead content.
Yeah. I don't know if that'll be dead content, but I don't know if it'll be the most popular.
Yeah.
It's kind of like comparing Guardians of the Rift, I feel like is still pretty popular. I feel like
Yeah.
Giants Foundry is not. Is that because I don't like it? Is it popular and I'm just a hater?
I think it's popular among irons, but even then,
Yeah.
it's not super popular. It's popular because it has a very high return on the investment,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives you gold.
That's true. Yeah, it does give you
So
a
it
gold.
actually the rewards are actually what makes up for it, and the XP is not bad. But that being said, even for an iron, if you want XP, you're gonna just go the OG route,
Yeah, true.
which is nice because I think it fits a nice niche.
Mm-hmm. I do still need to go there. I really want to green log it before I get 99 smithing, but I'm only at 92, so I got time.
Yeah,
I think it'll take a while to green log though.
it's funny because I saw someone the other day. They're like, "Oh, I got like 190,000 or 190 million XP with no tree pet,"
Oh,
and then another person posted, "Yo, I got 180 million smithing XP with no pet."
stupid.
It's
It's a
like,
little gold ore following you around on
at
legs.
first I was all like, "Oh, damn, that's unlucky," and then I saw it again. I saw it again the next day, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty funny." I didn't even think about it.
That's so funny. Oh, side note, I hit 100 million farming.
Nice.
Gross.
Only 100 million left.
Anyway, next is the Ragins pouch.
Reagents
It's A. Oh, it's EA.
or regions.
Regions pouch. God, I thought it said REAE. Oh, never mind. This is an untradeable. Make space for your secondaries with the latest in item storing technology. I've never learned how to read. This handy pouch lets you store up to 28 secondary items from limport roots to unicorn horns. I'm sorry, is that only that small tier?
No.
Or is it just they're just like being silly just typing those two?
Yeah, I think there's just
Imagine
examples.
only to like level 30 and then you can't store like bird's nest.
If I had to guess anything that could be considered a secondary, I actually doubt bird's nest would count. Unless you crush them potentially.
Oh yeah, if they're
Maybe
crushed.
maybe then they would count.
I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, maybe people will use it. I've found that I don't really use pouch items like this
Yeah,
much.
honestly, this seems really useless.
Because people also use the fish barrel, and I've never used the fish barrel.
Well, that's for very specific things. So like I said, maybe if you're out there killing unicorns or if you're out there grabbing snape grass and you're like, I wish,
That's actually a good point. You could store
yeah,
extra.
yeah.
Oh,
So it's like maybe you can make it so you're not having making so many trips. Like,
no, that actually makes it nice because early on, especially when you're doing like the snake grass and unicorn horns, you don't like have much money for staminas or have stamina pots if you're low level, so you don't want to
yeah.
be going too much. That's fair.
I personally never found it worth even farming unicorn horns, so I never really
I
did
did
that
it.
except for like quests.
Yeah.
Snape grass is not a big deal because there's teleports pretty close by anyways,
Mhm.
so I never had a problem with that.
But
But
like even less
yeah, it
going
would
back to
make
where
it slightly
it's awesome.
nicer. I still probably wouldn't spend the time getting this, but it's has a use, I guess.
I would for the green log.
Yeah, it's very much in the fish barrel line where it's like it'd be good if you were using it in port what's it called? Not Piscarilius, Piscatoris
Piscators, yeah.
and doing monkfish or whatever is there.
No, people like love the fish barrel, like swear by it. Never in my life have I wanted to use the fish barrel.
Well,
I'm in fishing too, so maybe that's partly why.
it's definitely because like it's like an iron thing, like
Hmm.
because like I said, people do use it
I
at
usually just drop my fish and then buy fish if I need it.
yeah,
So
like if you're at Piscatoris farming monkfish or whatever is there, then it just makes it so you have to go to the bank, which is really close by anyways, half as many times.
no, that's true. That makes me like this more comparing it to that.
Yeah, so I guess it's okay. I still
Okay.
wouldn't farm for it though.
I would for the green log.
Yeah. Alchemist's set. So this is untradeable. The prescribed eyewear in the stylish clothing set lets you see beyond the physical realm and into the science zone. I mean, not really, but wearing them in any other set piece will net you 2.5% chance to save a secondary ingredient when mixing potions for a total of 10% chance with the full outfit.
Okay.
Goggles, top, legs, gloves. Those will be the full set.
I like it. I know people don't like it because people don't like having to be told they can't do fashionscape.
I like it.
Yeah, I already saw people complaining, being like, "Stop giving us skilling outfits. So we like fashionscape." But I like the
That's
idea that they
weird.
did with Force Shoe, where that backpack, like you can wear the backpack and still get the woodcutting bonus.
Yeah.
They need to let us add everything to that.
I just think that's like a really weird argument, but like no one's telling you to wear this. It's only 10%. Make more money. Like, what do you? Stop crying. Just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
think that's a nice one. I
yeah,
personally really like skilling outfits.
I think it should even be higher, like 20%. 10% would be cool, but like over the long haul, 10% would be noticeable. But I feel like 20 would be nicer.
Yeah, but all the outfits are like honestly
They're
only long haul
yeah.
differences.
They're honestly all so laughably negligible. A lot of them aren't actually technically worth farming, but a lot of people do it
The
anyways.
farming outfit didn't wear all the time.
The farming outfit's
I don't
not
wear
worth
them
it.
past 99
The
either.
mining outfit's not worth it. The smithing outfit is worth it because you can combine it with the ice gauntlets, which are it's
The
cool.
newer ones are better. Like the rune crafting outfit's still pretty good too.
The runecrafting outfit is so
That's the
incredibly
best.
busted compared to all the other ones. I actually hate it.
Sucks so bad in comparison.
Like 60% more runes is like not
Is
even
it 60 when you're not there?
it's yeah, it's 60% all the time.
Dang. I can
Crazy
go
how
do some
it
rune
could
crafting.
be 10% and it'd probably be better than every other outfit. It's crazy how good it is.
Yeah, that
Insane.
was definitely the best of them.
It makes me upset.
Next is the Amulet of Chemistry Imbued. Brimming with Power, oh, this is untradeable by the way. Brimming with Power, this imbued version of the classic amulet will not just give you a sizable increase in charges, it also ups the chance to mix 4 dose potions to 15%. We were reading someone saying that you should have one that like guarantees that it'd be 4 dose or something. Or I don't know. I just thought that the 15% was so low, considering that like people's ideas were saying like guaranteed or higher.
I don't even know what the original one is. 10%?
I don't know what it is either. It's just barely.
It's very
It's
low.
low.
It's very
15
low.
is very low. I mean,
I am interested in
it must be
the
cheap though, I'd say.
increase in charges.
That's nice because if you're like doing inventory after inventory, you have to keep such a close eye on it to be like, oh, I need to switch my amulet.
Honestly, whenever I use mine, it is so incredibly like not useful that I just usually end up not equipping one.
I equip it, but then once it breaks, I don't even notice and I just keep going.
Like I remember multiple times on my iron making like 20 or 30 potions and maybe procking a single 4 dose.
Yeah, the 15 dose at least you'll be getting hopefully a couple each inventory, which I mean will
Yeah.
add up over time to be fair. So I am a fan of that. I
Well,
think it could be a little higher.
it would be well, 50%.
15%.
No, yeah, 15%, but it's you only craft 7 per inventory.
Ew.
So,
Well, I do like 13.
oh, is it? No, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you're
13.
right, 13. I don't know
Well,
why I
but
thought
I was
7.
thinking 20 or
No, yeah,
26 or whatever.
because it's yeah, it has a counterpart. So, yeah, it's only
Gross.
13.
Ew.
So, it'd be like maybe 1 per inventory if you're lucky.
Yeah. Kind of meh. But I mean, the way it is now, you could do like several inventories and not get any. So
Yeah.
it's something.
It's better.
The
It's
multiple charges is good too.
definitely not that interesting. Not getting excited.
This
This
is strange.
This is arguably the only cool thing out of all of it, in my opinion, which is the pre-pot device. So why drink? This is untradeable. Why drink one potion when you could create a cocktail of flavors, any effect for any occasion? This special device lets you insert doses from up to 5 different potions and drink them all at once. Sounds like, well, they said back in the uni days, but this actually reminds me of whenever you were a kid and you'd go to like McDonald's and you'd fill up
You
your
mixed
cup with every single soda that was
to do
on the
that
tap.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
You
Honestly, still not a bad mixture in my opinion from
know,
when
it
I
wasn't.
remember.
We should try it again.
Yeah,
Should bring it
whatever.
back.
But anyways, we'll be exploring the functionality of this item and everything surrounding it to make it as smooth a process as possible. This includes ensuring that the powerful effect is balanced appropriately. Currently, we're only allowing players to use this at a bank or next to a bank chest.
It's. I think it's actually good. I know some people probably don't like it,
Yeah,
but I mean, because I saw like different sides, people saying they don't like it because what's the point? You know, like it only
yeah,
saves 10 seconds.
yeah.
But I saw other people thinking that's too powerful, so that shouldn't be added. I think it's like one thing. I was just looking up the OSRS
That's
stats.
laughable.
I actually think that it'd be nice because sometimes I forget one of my pre-pots because my inventory will be like full of other stuff, so I won't
Yeah,
add it. So I actually think this would be cool, and then I won't have to have like maybe I'll actually pre-pot more because my pre-potting right now is like laughable because I don't like pre-potting. I think it's
yeah.
so annoying.
It is really annoying,
I think
especially
it's just
because
super combat. Click my imbued heart, eat a fish, and that's it.
I think it's really typical for you to have a full inventory and be like, all right, I need a pre-pot. And then you have to put stuff back and then take stuff out and then
And then put
drink
stuff
it
back.
and then put stuff back,
Yeah,
which is really annoying.
that's what I do.
And the thing is, I only think this would make it less annoying if they added a ton of quality of life to it. So, for example, let's say you add 5 potions to the bag or whatever, to the canteen.
I was imagining
And
it's one of those hats that have a
oh,
bunch of like
that's what the yeah, with
drinking
the
thing, but five of them.
yeah. And
Like he
then
was number one.
so you get this item and then you fill it with 5 4-dose potions. Click it and then it gives you a 1 dose of each. The thing that would make it really annoying is if it like didn't autofill. Like
Oh, like you have to go and manually fill it.
I feel like it should have an option right click, top up, and it should
Like refill from your bank.
yeah, no, not like and I don't mean like decant it and put and refill the potions in there, but I mean like if you've used all 4 doses and there's nothing in the bag, you should be able to right click and then it automatically
Pulls from your bank.
pull the 5 potions that were previously in it back into the pouch.
I think they should do like the if they do this to do like the rune pouch how it is with the setups. Where I mean I don't know if you've played since
No,
then,
yeah, I've seen it.
but you click it and you could just click an arrow and it'll auto refill it again.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that would be nice. Just copying what they did with the rune pouch.
Yeah, exactly like that. Because like if I have to after 4 doses, which is not very many,
Yeah, that's 4 raids.
take it out and then take the 5 potions and then drag it over
Yeah, yeah.
into the thing, that would be like, what am I doing? I might as well with that much time I spend doing that, I might as well just dose every time.
Yeah. No, I imagine that it'll be a lot like the new rune pouch
Yeah.
thing. Hopefully, that's my idea though.
Yeah. Also, I mean, this is going to be like a niche thing, and obviously you could just go to the decanter guy and change this, but I keep a lot of my potions in single dose just so that I can just sip them all once and then not have to put them back in the
You won't
bank.
have to do that anymore.
But yeah, so like the thing is like this is going to sound really dumb, but I would rather just be able to like leave them all 1 dose and just do that, which is why I would want this functionality instead of having to convert them all to 4 dose and then come back, because I had like my bank set up in a way where I like them in single dose.
Yeah, my bank I have all 4 doses for or yeah, for everyone. It looks
Yeah,
very pretty.
yeah, me too.
But yeah, I imagine it would just be like the rune and it's just like they pull whatever is needed, however many doses.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
it like I said, if it has the quality of life stuff like a practical player would use, then that's cool.
Yeah.
If
And it is still very early, so hopefully, they get some good feedback on this.
yeah,
Yeah.
but speaking of potion stores that we just talked about,
Well, kind of. Yeah, we didn't say potion storage, but banking. Potion storage is the next untradeable. So the final reward is one of the most requested items in all of Herblore, a storage solution that will finally free your bank slots from the tyranny of potions. Essentially, after unlocking this item, the potions in your bank will be automatically placed into potion storage, which will have a separate interface for you to withdraw them from. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this approach, especially as we recognize that this could just be a new button on the bank interface instead of a whole new object. Or perhaps it could be a new furniture item for your POH. What do you think? Let us know in the survey below. I don't like this.
okay,
I don't like dislike
why?
it. I don't dislike it. Because to me, it sounds like it's gonna make getting potions harder. My banks this is also coming from someone who my bank's kind of unorganized, but my potions at least are very organized.
Yeah,
So like now instead of going and just clicking my bank, clicking on my tab and get my potions, I'd click my bank and then have to click the potions thing and then get them, which wouldn't save me any time. That'd be the same. Or I'd have to go to my house and get potions, which like why would I go to my house
yeah,
in between raids and stuff?
yeah,
I feel like I wouldn't utilize it. I can't think of a situation in which I'd use this, but I know some people have really full banks, so they would
yeah.
like
I
it.
was like, you wouldn't like the, let's pretend that there's, you know, 12 potions. There's definitely more than that, but let's pretend there's 12
So
potions,
48 slots.
48 slots that you'd be getting back.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to get some extra bank storage, but at the same time, like that's all it would save really, which I guess is what people want.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally the only thing that this relieves.
I thought it was just to like help be quicker, but it's not at
No,
all.
no, it's literally just storage.
So I'm okay with it being added. It wouldn't affect me though. I probably wouldn't utilize it.
Yeah,
But if other people like it, yeah. And ultimates will not be affected by this.
yes.
Just a heads up, because I know some ultimates were like, no.
I kind of, well, this is kind of like two parts. Like my original thought was kind of like the last item. I would be okay with this
With some
if
tweaks.
it was already implemented with doses 1 through 4 for each potion, and it had every potion in there, regardless of whether you had it before or anything like that. It
That's
just
nice. That sounds
showed
cool.
all of them 1 through 4,
It
and
could
would just
look like
put the ones in there that you had.
almost like your wardrobe's like your POH.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it just had everything there because that's how I set it up in my bank. I have 1 through 4 of every single potion I've ever had, and if I need it, it's there. If I don't have it, it shows a 0 because I don't have any.
Yeah. And you'll still know that that potion exists. You
Yeah,
won't forget.
exactly. If it doesn't have that, I don't care. I wouldn't use it. If it doesn't show the 1 through 4, I wouldn't use it. I would just keep the bank like messed up. Or like I would choose a reduced bank size if it didn't have the 1 through 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Because sometimes I want a 2 dose, sometimes I want a 1 dose or a 3 dose, like whatever. I shouldn't be limited or like have to go through extra clicks because they can't program it that way.
I know. I imagine that it would be basically how we both have our banks organized right now, but in a different tab.
Yeah, if they can do that, then yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That being said, I saw some suggestions. One, it being from your POH is one of the most insane things I've ever heard.
I saw people saying that's too busted because you could also use your pool of rejuvenation or something. But I was like, I just wouldn't go to my house.
The thing is, like, you'd have to like go to your house and then go back to the bank and then go to your house again or something like that.
I
Like, what are you
don't
doing?
know. I was very confused by that as well. I don't know if I was misunderstanding, if it was a joke or what, but
No. What I saw some people suggesting, and I think this would actually be kind of cool, is if you were able to unlock this via a house addition,
like
like
an alchemy.
after like a certain construction level or a quest or something, and you're like, oh, here's an alchemy table which gives you this potion storage.
You couldn't, I mean, it's something with mahogany homes that you could unlock blueprints for like designs of houses, which I didn't realize till I decorated my POH the other week, and I
Yeah.
really want one of those. They could do something like that, like they give you a blueprint in this mini game, or like an alchemy table or something.
Yeah, or maybe like, yeah, add an alchemy table or like a potions room or something, and then it unlocks it for your bank. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But that's the only way I could see it interacting with the house.
Yeah, the house. I'm much more of a big fan of the bank personally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not big on either, but I'm also not in the situation where I would need to be.
Yep.
So other people might like it more than me. But if you, whether you like it or not, they do have a survey.
That's
Oh, it's
closed.
closed. Never mind. Oh my god, that survey was open for 2 days. Huh? It was the shortest survey.
Yep. There you go.
They had a survey. It is already closed. So I mean, tweet at them and all their regular channels if you have issues. People always have issues, and even without surveys, we always get a hold of them somehow.
Somehow. And they do remind us at the bottom that there's going to be a little bit of a mod chat that already happened, as well as a live stream showing off the newest part of the Shining Kingdom on Thursday, April 25th. So by the time this comes out, it will have already happened.
Yeah, so hopefully you can just go on YouTube or their Twitch to find it.
Yeah, but this is just another reminder. They have been having these live streams as well as Discord stages over on the Discord. So I'd recommend checking it out if you're interested in those at all.
Yeah. That's it for the Herb Tot blog.
Yeah, overall, I think it looks okay. I'm worried it's
Just
going to
need some
be
tuning.
dead content because, like I said, a lot of these rewards aren't very big incentives for irons to go here.
I feel like they're just good enough that you'll do it, but not good enough that you'll stay after. Like you'll unlock it and then you'll leave. Is what I think.
I'm just wondering, as an iron, why would you go here?
I don't know. I'm not iron. Don't put this on me.
Okay. I mean, as a main, you'd go here for like sea logging only.
Yeah,
Right.
I care about collection logging
Obviously.
and potentially money making with the potion packs.
Yeah, but
I think anyone would go for the outfit.
You have
and
to
the
remember-
chemistry amulet. To be fair,
maybe.
yeah,
The thing is, a lot of people don't go for that at Guardians of the Rift, and that's, like as we said,
it's so
completely
good.
busted.
You guys should really get that outfit if you haven't yet.
So the fact that people don't do that there makes me think that, obviously people aren't going to do that here, and the average player doesn't really care about collection log that much.
I know.
If they do, it's at a boss they haven't been to. And so that's what makes me think, like, if the Iron's more than likely not going to spend a lot of time here, they might go there, like I said, for the random Cadentine Avento dump to get extra prayers.
Yeah. I mean, I think people will also go there for the pre-pot thing. That one's nice.
Yeah, okay, so maybe everyone goes there for the pre-pot thing and that's
There's
it.
not much incentive to stay because the XP is not great, and the only item that seems like you can get to make money or use, like, is kind of risky because you're maybe not getting good stuff from it.
So the rewards are, just fairly lackluster.
A little better, but I think that they're on the right track.
Maybe the XP per
That should be-
investment. We don't know the numbers, but it seems low.
They said it's low.
Because
I think it should be medium.
yeah,
It doesn't need to be higher than bank standing, but I think it should be medium.
like that's what's nice about
Guardians of the Rift.
no, about Giants Foundry is your XP per bar used is very high.
It's actually good.
It's very, very high.
Yeah, especially if you're bringing your own supplies, you should have good XP.
Yeah, like if you compared it, like GP per like item, GP per XP is incredibly high, especially if you bring, like, for instance, to put it into perspective, you could go and buy claws from Jatizo and plate bodies, go to Giants Foundry and make money.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
That's how much money you make going there.
And it's an item sync.
And
right?
there is no other option even remotely close unless you want to do the way that requires a lot of money or a lot of bars, which is the traditional way, which is still available.
Blast Furnace.
Yeah, blast furnace, or just making the stuff and then going to an anvil and making plate bodies.
True.
So this just seems like it fills a weird niche that doesn't need to be filled.
Are you feeling more positive or more negative about it? Or neutral?
I'm positive they'll get it to a place where it doesn't
Sound
have
weird.
only negatives.
You think it's only negatives?
Yeah, dude.
Dang.
I mean,
still think it sounds nice.
It doesn't stretch your dollar. It doesn't give you good rewards, and besides maybe a couple.
Well, I mean, I think one of the really, really, really big incentives for me is not bank standing. I hate bank standing so much.
The thing, yeah, I guess so, but I'm assuming low XP is like 25 to 50K. If it
My
is,
XP like 300.
I mean, you can get like 1, 2, 300 doing bank
Just
standing.
make it 60K, please.
Like, do you hate bank standing so much that you'd spend 6 times as much time doing an active method?
It's a tough question.
Most people would say no, probably. So I don't know. Like, they need to either up the money, up the XP, or up the rewards
There needs to
because
be one that's like a very obvious incentive to get them.
yeah,
That's
like
fair.
there's money, XP, and rewards. Like that's the trifecta. They need to shoot for at least one out of the three because for me it falls short on all three.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like they'll figure it out though. Because, I mean, just based on their drawing, this is so early.
So on to exactly what we were just talking about.
Yeah, it is the next day, and there is just feedback on the Herblore activity. So we'll just get right into it. I haven't read it yet. Robert will be reading this for us.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy. They have consolidated the entire list,
Oh,
but
cool. Are we just going to go through that or
um, we can probably go through it
mix and
like
match?
no, I was just gonna think that we can go through each of their methodologies and then that'll pretty much go over all of the
Oh,
consolidated lists. I was just saying if you want to skip this and just go read it yourself, they have like an itemized list of each thing that they're changing.
cool.
But we're gonna go the long route.
I know. I thought you were going to go itemize, and I'm like, it's kind of surprising.
No. So the very first thing, and was my main concern, is that the experience and the herb value just wasn't going to be up to par.
Yeah.
So they saw a lot of discussion and that we need some XP rates in
Reats.
order to make informed decisions, but they don't want to share XP rates, so they'll try to keep that in mind, essentially.
Okay.
They
So
do
they
say,
must try to balance it more.
yeah, they say that this also goes for the breakdown of component values. While it won't be updated in this news post, that list will be reflected or corrected to reflect the herblore level unlocks. So this is something that I kind of did brush over. They said that in the news post that we want to make it clear that we've heard you.
Some of
Wait,
the
what does
herbs
it say?
weren't equaling up to their value, is what they're saying. Like herbs that were easier to get were considered higher level because, like
Yeah.
Nar, you can do really low level, honestly, but they were putting it higher than other stuff.
Yeah.
They're going based off like the value rather than the level it's unlocked.
Yeah. So for whatever reason, I didn't catch this originally, but yeah, it was just based on the GE value, and they're saying that they're changing it back to the actual herb lore unlock level. I thought I mentioned it earlier, but it doesn't,
Yeah, I
which
cut
is
on
weird.
that pretty quick. I was just reading it while he was reading it.
Yeah, they say that they don't want to rush into the balancing changes, so the hope is to come back with another news post in the future with some better insights in the gameplay experience and interactions. So they saw that the experience thing kind of was dumb, and so hopefully they'll fix it, but they don't exactly have a fix in mind
Yeah.
besides more XP.
Next up is the gameplay and UI. Remember, I have not read this yet, so I already can't read. Just be
Um,
prepared.
yeah,
Is this gonna be fine?
it'll be fine. It's kind of funny because it's actually something that I brought up.
Oh, cool. Okay. So a lot of the complaints we saw when trying to visualize this activity is that you don't want to be like Giant's Foundry, as you spend a fair amount of time focused on the progress bar. For clarity, in the actual game, the only visible UI element will be the order list. However, your feedback has prompted us to investigate other methods of communicating this information, such as NPCs shouting out available orders. We want this activity to be about engaging in the world, not focusing on a UI. The pacing will be faster than Giant's Foundry. When it comes to actual gameplay changes, we saw a ton of people wonder if unfinished potions could be used in this activity. You mentioned that, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Someone mentioned it. While that wasn't the case initially, we don't think it's a bad idea. So the mill will be renamed to the refiner, and you'll be able to put both herbs and unfinished potions inside to get your paste. On a similar note, we found out from our conversations that the centrifuge needs something else to make things homogeneous, right?
Yes.
So we're renaming the machine to the agitator. We're also going to review the other terminology to make it less grounded in reality. Here comes the Mixomatic 3000.
Yeah.
Dang, they were like, you guys are a bunch of nerds. We need to think of more whimsical things so you don't correct us.
The thing is, like, centrifuges, like, if we're talking about blood, like, it'll separate the different types of, like, platelets and plasma and stuff like that. So it does exactly the opposite of what they said it would do. So it makes sense that they're changing it.
I do love that, though, that they're like, we're also going to make it less grounded in reality because they're like, we do not want to have to research every time we name one of these.
I mean, it should be. That's kind of one of the things that I liked about, like, World of Warcraft is some of the names of, like, some of their things, they're made up by gnomes. Like, these
Yeah.
are items
They just
invented by
made it up.
gnomes.
Yeah.
So it's like they're like the known inventors in the world, so obviously they're gonna have like crazy names.
It
Like,
makes it easier because then you could make stuff do whatever and no one's going to be like, that's not what this does.
yeah.
Like how that we did that yesterday.
So yeah, Like I'm pretty sure World of Warcraft even invented the term a lot of people use for like fashionscape, but in other games nowadays, even for other games that aren't WoW, is transmogrification.
Oh yeah.
That's it comes from World of Warcraft.
I
That's
think
just a
yeah, you
name that they
mentioned that
invented.
before.
A lot of people just say transmogging.
Yeah. It's funny that they came up with that.
Yeah,
And
it's
now
like
I'm just like, that's always been a word.
yeah, like just goofy names. Like it shouldn't make sense.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. And actually, I never even thought about the unfinished potions, so that was pretty
Yeah.
a good
I guess
catch.
someone in my Twitch chat said it. I thought it was you for some reason.
No, I didn't. I didn't even notice it until I read this.
Yeah.
So a new challenger approaches. The rest of this update will focus on the rewards from the activity. Before we get on to the old, let's start off with something new. We saw a lot of feedback wondering why no new potion comes from the Herblore activity.
We have a lot of potions already.
This is actually really cool.
Okay.
So to keep the Herblore theme going strong, we want to offer a new reward, a potion of goading. This
You're my
potion,
goat.
okay, this potion, well, it's goading with a D for anyone
Goating.
that hasn't read it.
Bunch of goats just show up.
And if you are familiar with the word goad, then you probably know where this is going. Goading.
Goading?
This potion will allow you to set aggro on any non-aggressive enemies within a 9 to 9
Oh.
square around the player. This means not only you could re-aggro enemies that have wandered off, but you could lure enemies that aren't normally aggressive to you.
So no more bringing darts places.
Yeah. So if
Oh,
you
this is
are,
really big for Slayer.
yeah, if you're gonna go, for example, Dust Devils, then you don't
Mm-hmm.
need to bring darts to lure all of them. You could just pop one of these potions,
Some
and you'll
Necreos
be,
too.
yep, Necreos as well. And they do say that if, for instance, you are fighting enemies that are naturally aggressive to you, like let's say Dagonauts, and it's been 10 minutes and the AFK timer has worn off. Because for anyone that doesn't know, NPCs are only aggressive for 10 minutes and then it sets it to neutral.
Then they're just used to you.
Yeah, you have to walk out of aggressive range and walk back in order to reset your NPC aggro.
Done that a lot.
If that happens, then you can just use this potion, and for the next 6 minutes, they'll be aggressive to you. And every so often, I don't. Does it say exactly?
Every few seconds.
Every few seconds, the effects of the potion will try to lure a mob that's within an 8x8 radius of the player.
This is crazy.
Yeah, so pretty useful.
I'm just concerned that this will be too good. I wonder if people think it's too good.
I don't think so.
Because it makes it more AFK, and some people are very opposed to AFK things.
It won't make it AFK. It's not like a huge area. You still have to run up to them within 8 squares.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's, I don't know. It makes it slightly more AFK for sure, though. Because you don't have to go
Potentially.
aggro them more.
You're still looking at extremely low rates.
That's true. I like it, though.
Yeah, me
And
too.
as someone who's not thinking about critically, at least, I think it's good.
No, yeah, I think it's a good change. I like it a lot.
I think
Honestly,
we're goading in the right direction.
okay, I was thinking that a lot of these changes actually kind of, for me personally, turned this patch from like, or this
You were not
blog,
very positive about it.
kind of from like more of like an L blog into like a W blog. So,
Okay. Moving on to potion packs. The main concern from this reward was receiving potions you wouldn't otherwise be able to get consistently when using different herbs. As we previously stated, using light herbs will be the only way to get light potions, and those points can only be spent on light potion packs. Inside those packs, you'll only find potions made from lye-based herbs, with the other packs following the same principles. We're also adding restrictions on what potions can be added from packs, dependent.
obtained from the packs.
Oh, thank you. Like I said, it's my first time reading this. Dependent on your Herblore level. If you can't make Ceradim Brews, for example, you'll either not get Ceradim Brews or have an extremely rare chance to receive one. Once you've hit that level, the scaling will change and will continue to change until you reach the required level to create all available potions from a pack.
Yeah,
I think it's very rare, so it feels like special every once in a while.
yeah, maybe. It's also not mentioned here, but they are adding Torstals to the list as well.
We're supposed to be on the list? I
No.
didn't even notice. Okay, interesting.
Next thing is going to be the reagents pouch. Let's start off with some clarification we left out in the original post. First, you'll be able to use secondaries directly from the pouch when making potions, which is something I never even considered. I just have thought of it as a farming thing, like to
Oh.
like use for extra storage,
Yeah.
not even for crafting. So yeah, for instance, if you have a full inventory of Renar potions unfinished,
Could use it on the pouch?
you can use all of, I don't know how you'll prompt the dialogue, but yeah, you should be able to just use all the snake grass from your secondary pouch and just create a full inventory of all 28 potions instead of a half an inventory.
Yeah, I mean, that could be huge and way better than sounded if that's right.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Aim of chemistry imbued. We saw some confusion about how this reward would work and definitely saw a preference for one method over the other. We think we could come to a solid middle ground for this item as you'll be able to purchase it as a separate item from the shop. This will come with a decent number of charges, but you will have the ability to add regular amulets of chemistry to it for more charges. So you can either keep purchasing multiple or bag yourself one and keep it sustained with regular. People are just
Yeah.
concerned about how to charge it.
This is actually how I thought it would work to begin with. So
I kind of just thought you were going to buy new ones,
I
to be
thought
honest.
you were going to be able to charge it, and because it came with extra charges, I was all like, oh, like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. I mean, this makes sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Next is going to be the skilling outfit. So everyone was really,
I told you it's a hot debate.
I know, like, I mean,
You didn't see it.
I actively know that I don't care about the way I look in games. Like in like Helldivers, everyone like wants to have the coolest armor, and I literally have the same armor from when you log into the game.
That's hilarious.
I don't care. It's just whatever's effective for me.
Yeah.
Um, so based on everyone not liking the lack of fashionscape,
Not everyone.
they're making it so that they're moving the full effect or of the outfit onto just the goggles.
I love that they added to the goofiest part of this outfit.
Yeah.
It's like now you're going to have to wear goggles.
This also gives you the option to purchase the other pieces for pure fashionscape.
And the clog.
We think this has opened a bigger conversation for skilling outfits in general, and we'd like to know what you think for space in the future.
I would like to say just do what you did for forestry and let you put it in that backpack and give you the same effects.
Yes. At that point, why not just make it so that you can transmog everything in the game anyways? Because that's essentially what that is, except
Well,
you're carrying
so
it around.
yeah, you're carrying it around. I feel like that makes a big difference because it's taking up an inventory slot.
I guess.
Anyway, pre-pot device. Like any concoction, we wanted to make potion chugging feel smooth. To do so, we'll be offering customizable presets for the device. While you like that most of the rewards from this activity are untradeable, this one was the one exception. So it's a little treat. It will now be tradable on release.
I think this is good because I never really thought about it, but you are going to want to use it for pre-potting, but I could see use cases for it for like extended trips into the wilderness, and if you lost it, it would be really annoying if you had to go farm another one.
I didn't think about that. That's so true.
So, I mean, I really don't care that it's tradable.
Yeah.
It's kind of like whenever
I'm surprised that everything was untradeable at first. I
yeah.
thought at least one thing would be tradable. So
This it kind of reminded me whenever the rune pouch was originally only obtainable through like non-buyable means. Really,
can you buy it on the G?
you can buy it on the G. It's like a mill.
Huh?
Yeah. Or
Okay.
what you do is you buy a
Like a note for it or
like
something.
it's like a bounty hunter note or something like
Yeah.
that,
Something particular.
and then you can turn that into the pouch.
Mhm.
But previously, I think you had to specifically either get it from like
A Slayer Master Elmas.
the Slayer Master LMS or
Where else do you even get it?
I remember there was another place to get it. I forgot where it was.
The G.
Yeah, I don't remember. But anyways, I like that they're opening it up, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Last one is going to be potion storage. So, from the survey and conversations online, it's clear that you want to keep it focused in the bank
Good.
for the majority of players. While you haven't gotten the specifics of the system, we want to come back soon with updates and interactions for both the reward and the pre-pot device, as well as refined lists and gameplay for the activity itself. So, really, they're just saying that they're going to keep it in the bank and it's not going to affect Ultimate Iron Man.
Because it's in the bank.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it for the feedback.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, there wasn't the only thing that I saw that they didn't add was that the Torstol wasn't in any of those notes that we mentioned for some reason.
Because I didn't even notice that Torso wasn't on there before.
Yeah,
But there's so many herbs in this game.
yeah,
But,
kind of weird.
Overall, I thought I was positive yesterday. Now I feel like yesterday I was an idiot and today I'm positive. I'm like, wow, I need to
Okay.
set the bar higher.
Okay.
I like these.
Yeah,
I think they're good.
yeah. Overall, I think it's fine, and I was surprised that they changed it so quickly.
It was super quick because it just first came out like 2 days ago or something. And they're doing the game jam, so it's surprising that they took the time to do feedback in the middle of the game jam.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of people were saying this as well, but yeah, I guess shout out to all of the
Goosebane.
the CMs because they have been putting in more effort, and even Mod Sarni responded to someone saying that they have like made it more of a priority to be more prompt in their responses.
Oh, that's nice. That's cool.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. Either way, we can get into the next thing, which is even more blog stuff.
Yeah, not too much though. It's more feedback. This one is on the Project Rebalance item and combat adjustments.
Yes.
They do have an intro thing that I think we should go over, honestly. It's not about what the changes are, but I'm just gonna read it. So they say, to be blunt, we know Project Rebalance has been a lot. We've had 3 different sections across 3 massive blogs, numerous updates, multiple betas. There's a bunch going on. As the weeks been going on, we've seen a number of comments to the tune of, they're doing too much at once, or I wish they'd slow down. And while we appreciate where those are coming from, we also want to explain why there's so much happening. Put simply, OS is a slow burn, both in-game and in the gaming industry. We've been around for over 11 years at this point, which is even longer than the time from RuneScape 2's release and the 2007 backup that all of OS is built on top of. All that to say, we're not a competitive game. We're not looking to put out a balancing patch every week or 2 weeks and have you all at home wondering whether you'll wake up every Wednesday and have to change your loadouts for the 10th time this year. It's rare for us to rebalance stuff for exactly this reason, and it means that every time we do elect to make changes, we try to capture more at once, so there's one dose of readjusting and then things get left to settle. Of course, there might be the occasional kink to iron out, or feedback tweaks to make as the dust clears and more players interact with the rebalanced landscape, but we feel it's preferable to changing a couple things every week and wind up in a constant loop of minor tweaks. Given how scarce Given how scarce these kinds of updates are, we want to reiterate that we only look to make them when we feel that they stand to benefit the game in a broad sense, both now and years to come. In years to come. Then they reference the 2021 Toxic Blowpipe nerf as an example because it would be way too busted today. Supposedly, that's what they think.
No, I just don't think that's good reasoning, but
Yeah.
sure.
Part of what Rebalance accomplished was ultimately paving the way for Masori armor, Dizana's quiver, and even the Venator ring. Meaningful upgrades for people chase that offer range strength, which would have been much harder to make healthy for range as a whole, with the affordable and reasonably obtainable Toxic Blowpipe dominating the meta. Similarly, it made room for the Crystal Armor and Bofa, which I forgot is not that old, by the way.
No,
The
yeah.
Bofa is really not that old. Alongside other ranged weaponry to give players more options and allow us to keep introducing upgrades without utterly trivializing older content. In this case, those benefits are things like improving the variety offered by various skilling methods, redistributing offensive stats to spread mage progression more widely, give players more options to tackle NPCs with elemental weaknesses, and open up new reward space for magic and range without just creeping upwards, among other things. Throughout all these changes, something that we've aimed to keep consistent is that even if you just carry on doing exactly what you're doing, you shouldn't feel significantly worse off for it in an overwhelming majority of scenarios. So when you use your Abby Whip at gargoyles, go for it, but it might take a couple extra minutes. You'd rather click shooting stars while you work at home than try volcanic mine? It's almost like I said vampiric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat the mine.
Sure thing. It's gonna be just as good as it is right now, but that improved variety is waiting for you if you want to take a look. Which I mean is something that I personally appreciate a lot. Is that these changes are kind of things if you don't want it to affect you, it doesn't have to affect you in some cases.
Oh, that's actually everything ever.
Well, yeah, but I mean some things like if you use the Void Waker every day, that's gonna affect you. But like skilling metas are getting changed. But anyway, we're grateful for everyone who's given us feedback so far. From all the channels, they even like reference Seda here because they say weather and ramble videos on YouTube, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. We're hoping this is our final update of this set of changes before getting to a stage where we can launch them and adjust as needed in case new feedback appears. So after that 30 minutes of me talking, let's look at our last set of updates. Or do you have community things first?
No, I was just gonna say for anyone wondering, because they did mention like this as well as all the other blogs. People asked when they can expect the other blogs, and they actually kind of have a little bit of a timeline for anyone wondering.
Like to go out?
So people were asking when's the expected date for the skilling changes from the previous Rebalance blog.
This is getting the most talked about, not the skilling one.
For the amethyst mining and the agility changes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is expected to hopefully be in May.
Oh, soon.
Yeah, that's what Goblin said. And then someone else asked when the MTA quality of life poll is going to happen, and that's going to be after the game jam ends, so early to mid-May as well.
Have we not been voted on that yet? Or do you mean when the...
No.
We did vote on it. It all won.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
this is when the actual update will happen.
okay.
So
Got you.
yeah. So they have some updates on that too, which is cool. So
So we're not waiting too much longer.
yeah.
Hopefully,
Some people were also asking. I didn't even know this was a thing, but will there be an update on reworking the winter tot damage mechanics?
they did mention that one time.
Yeah, I totally didn't even think about it or remember it. I actually don't remember that ever happening. Uh,
I read somewhere. It honestly might not have been Jagex that said it.
but Goblin actually did respond to that, surprisingly, saying that extremely likely that it'll include some Wintertot damage stuff in the next quality of life poll.
Cool.
So yeah, I guess you have that to look forward to. Just
When did she
since we're
mess
already
you
talking
up?
about other stuff, yeah, sure. Just do it at 10 HP. Um,
I did on my hardcore and our internet DC, and I was so afraid I was gonna die.
nice.
Anyway,
I mean, you'd have to get hit like four
you
or five
just
times.
anyway,
So,
anyway.
yeah. So, anyways, first one's gonna be the Void Waker.
Speaking of getting hit 4 or 5 times,
Okay.
you do segues all the time. I want to do one too.
That doesn't make any sense here. This is a special attack weapon. You're only getting hit once.
No, if you wait for your special attack to refill and hit them once more
And
and
then hit
once
them and
more,
then wait
and
again.
then go to your POH, get back up.
Okay, so anyways, I thought the special attack changes were dumb. A lot of people did as well. They're not doing them.
Yeah, they
Anyway,
have shelved any special attack changes for the Void Waker for now.
yeah, because this is a spec DPS weapon at the end of the day, and they pretty much were like, yeah, we actually don't know why we're doing this, kind of. So once we do find something that we want to compete with this, then we'll probably come back and nerf it.
Yeah, so it still might get nerfed in the future, but for now, it is safe.
Yeah, and
We were
they,
talking about it on stream, and I realized that's not a good change.
yeah, and I mean that's me paraphrasing, but they pretty much say that they say when we reach the point of looking to release another spec DPS weapon, which could well be a long time from now, we may revisit elements of this conversation.
We'll see.
Yeah, so who knows?
I mean, but then is that weapon also going to get nerfed whenever they add another one years from now?
No, it'll probably just be like a weapon that's competitive with the Void Waker is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing they want to do.
I guess so. Next is the magic damage redistribution. Last week's proposal was a step in the right direction for the most part, but one particular inclusion stood above the rest, the Eternal Boots. If you guys don't remember, Eternal Boots were not going to get any extra magic damage, and then everyone's like, why aren't the boots going to get extra magic damage? And they're like, oh my god, you guys are so right, we're going to have extra magic damage. And now everyone's complaining because they don't want to bring boots with them.
Yeah.
So we're never happy. That's essentially what happened. People just don't want to have a 9-way switch.
Well, yeah, so they're saying they even say that in particular this feedback is related to the idea of bringing a nine-way because there are no other places in the game you bring a nine-way,
And
which makes it
most
weird.
people do it in their inventory. It's just going to. You probably already have what's called muscle memory going. That's gonna be kind of weird.
Yeah, sure.
But it is very funny though that everyone was like saying include the boots, and they include the boots, and they're like, why'd you include the boots?
Well, when they went and included the boots, they did include them a lot. So maybe that's not what people were thinking.
Yeah. Okay, so people who don't want to bring it, of course, there is also another camp of players who want to see Eternal given some degree of use. While all of the Serb associated boot upgrades are extremely minor compared to their base boot, Eternals are arguably the least substantial of all since they only offer accuracy and style, which is almost exclusively used in scenarios where it's already incredibly accurate. We've got a delicate line to walk between not wanting these best in slot boots to feel like they're not even worth taking up a slot in your bank, and not wanting them to feel hard required or encourage an uncomfortable style of switching that runs against years of muscle memory. So we want to propose the following. Eternal Boots magic damage would be moved down to 1%, which used to be proposed at 2%. And the occult necklace magic damage will go back up to 5%, opposed from 4% previously.
Yeah, which
They're just adding it back to the necklace.
I don't know.
You think it should have gone to something else?
I think they could have just removed the boots.
Oh, instead of well, then everyone like wouldn't be hitting as hard as they haven't in the past.
I don't care. I'm mostly not a fan of end game setups becoming arbitrarily more stronger because they don't know how to balance items.
Yeah.
Because they literally even say here for end game shadow setups, you'll gain a bit of damage in max mage setups with Eternals and the Magus. So,
But you'll still likely lose on a max hit if you're not willing to bring your boots.
yeah, still kind of weird. I just don't.
For Effectively, everybody not using the shot, you'll be better off than you currently are, regardless of whether or not you're using the Eternal Boots.
Yeah, I don't
It really
know.
doesn't affect much people.
You could have just added. You could have just done this, like taken away the boots and then just distributed that to the other pieces
Maybe like the
somehow,
bracelet or
giving them
something.
0.5% more damage or something,
Yeah.
or just removing percent in general because percent is the dumbest way to do it, and just do magic strength how they do everything else in the game.
Hmm.
Or they could have just revamped all the boots because all the boots in the game suck, but
Except for the primordial.
primordials suck too. You're thinking dragon boots. Dragon boots are good. Primordials are like a one strength increase over dragon boots.
Yeah, but they're like the ones out of all the Sir boots, those are the ones that everyone takes everywhere.
Okay, yeah, no, you're totally right. I guess my point, and this is something that I saw someone else talk about,
Okay.
and I never thought about it this way. And once I did, I was like, oh, you're right. All of the boots suck.
Okay.
Because once you upgrade all of the boots from their base, it's not an impressive
Yeah, they
upgrade.
did just say it's very minimal.
Like I said, the reason
It's meter
primordials,
fixing, right?
yeah, but even so, like even the only reason primordials are good is because dragons are good.
Oh, yeah.
If dragons weren't good, primordials would be ass.
I'm curious if, I mean, because I don't know how old like primordials and all those are.
Yeah,
They're pretty old, right?
it's probably pretty old. Yeah,
I wonder if it'll be something like the DK rings where eventually we
that's what I
do
was thinking.
get new
That's
versions.
why I'm not a super big fan of just reworking boots because I feel like that's a big opportunity for a new boss thing.
Hmm.
Because it's
Eventually.
yeah, I mean the Serb upgrades aren't very good, and I
It's kind of
mean
weird that all three boots come from the same boss, too.
it is.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it could have been a thing like, the DT2 bosses where they're all related but different vibes.
Yeah,
But now we're just talking about ideas of where new boots could come from.
yeah. I'm just I don't
No,
really
that's fair.
like top end being more top end for no reason. It's like technically this does make all the other ones better too, but like you could have done that without adding it to the necklace,
Hmm.
which seemed like a really weird
The whole
offhanded
point of
thing.
this was to make the necklace worse, and now you're adding it back to the
Yeah, you could have
necklace.
been like, all right, everything up to Virtus gets zero point 0.5.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, that's fine. It's like not as good as it was, but it's still better.
It's just everything's in such a tricky place that it's like no matter what they do, it'll be kind of
Actually,
weird.
I just thought of that and I still think that's a way better idea. Because if you think about it, if you did zero point 0.5 for everything below
Ancestral.
Ancestral, then that would be 1.5% set bonus damage over everything before Ancestral, which is
Ancestral would
only,
still be better.
that's only zero point 0.5 more than what they are implementing,
Hmm.
which is affecting everything that's not Tumikins.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, technically, if you had Tumikins and like Virtus, that would be a buff, but it wouldn't be a buff on the Max Mage set.
Yeah.
So this, I don't know. Again, I hate doing this, but to say it again, it kind of just sounds like they didn't really think about this buff. I just thought of one that I think is better. Not much better, but better.
I don't really have strong feelings on that one, to be honest.
Me neither. It's just foolish. Like,
I don't have deep feelings or like deep thoughts on it either. I'm just like, I think
yeah,
it's weird that they're taking away from the boots just because people were like, I don't want to bring another Switch. I'm like, just don't then. Like, just keep on the boots, is my thought.
yeah.
But I also don't like thinking, I don't like look at DPS calculators and all that and see what's what.
I don't. Yeah, I don't really care. It's just for me. It's kind of like, I mean, for one of my like famous, metaphors or
The
whatever,
roadkill one was
whatever
my
you want to
favorite.
call them. It'd be the same as like if you're walking
It'd be
down
the
this.
same.
It'd be the same as if you're walking down the street and like two things are next to each other and the
Where's he
wind
going with
the
this?
wind is about to blow them away.
Okay.
And one is a $2 bill, the other one's a $1 bill, and you go for the $1 bill. It's like, I mean, that's fine. I mean, it just seems like it would have been a better idea to go for the $2 bill
I don't understand how it relates, but I
because
love the comparison.
it relates for me because it's an easy choice to have just gone for not what they went for, which
They're
is still
just making it weirder.
technically fine, but it just would have been easier to go with whatever is the easier option. It just seems like they went with whatever was the first option, even though the other one is just right
Like
there as
they
well.
didn't do enough critical thinking to decide what else to do.
Yeah, I mean, You could have thought of this. I guess is my point. Like you could have thought of this if you
Yeah.
spent like a few hours and being like, oh, what could we do between like two people? You could have thought of something better. I'm sure.
It's Scam Jam time, Robert. They're busy.
Yeah, clearly.
So what's the same?
Yeah. So speaking of, it's the same as we're gonna get into some stuff I actually care about.
Oh, do you want to just go off because like you want me to read the beginning, or I'll read the beginning. You read the chart because you know I hate charts.
Okay,
Sure.
sure.
All right. Nightmare drop rates. First things first, we're walking back the proposal for dupe protection.
Yeah, because that didn't make sense.
It was weird. While we said it wasn't something we'd look to roll out everywhere, many of you raised concern that it doesn't feel that old school and were worried that it set a dangerous precedent. It was already kind of weird that they're adding the sun one at Coliseum, honestly. On top of this, anyway, sorry, that's my little thought. On top of this, it didn't exactly solve all the issues with Nightmare Fasani when it comes to orbs or just enjoyability for mains and irons alike looking for a reason to grind the boss.
Yeah.
Once again, we've got a delicate line to walk here between wanting to make them feel worth engaging while
Thi- This is the most obscene part.
and not wanting to undermine the monumental grind of those who have completed this content. Right, listen, we're not done. Wait till after. After your last round of feedback, we took a step back and started thinking more on the lines of, if we're making the Nightmare from scratch today, what would we set rates at? And trying to marry it up with the previous point about undermining the achievements of those who have gone before. We know this last point might not matter to some of you reading, but we're not saying it from a position of gatekeeping or the offsided, we had to suffer and so should you, like the crab mentality. Old school is all about the grind, the journey, and the flex, which is something we try to keep in mind always. That said, even main accounts don't frequent these bosses. It's not uncommon to see a wholly unrestricted player say that they love the encounter design for Sony's Nightmare, but they don't tend to engage with it because the time required to see anything worthwhile would be better spent elsewhere. Nightmare is a very fun boss, and I don't like to go for that same exact reason. It's not any money at all. Anyway, we're proposing further improving drop rates for these uniques and keen to see where things shake out for Fasani's Nightmare. Note that all the same percent buffs apply to regular Nightmare too, so the change to any specific orb being buffed by 46% would go down from 1 out of 1800 to 1 out of 960. We're choosing to focus on Fasani's here specifically since we feel it's more frequently engaged with of the two variants. And then they have a chart of the live drop rates at Fasani's, the initially proposed, and the new updated proposed drop rates. Read us them.
Yeah, and they also have probably the best part for most normal people would be they have a comparison percentage
Yeah, like I was saying.
from buff to live. For instance, like the if you want to farm an Inquisitor piece, it'll be a 43% buff with their proposal over live. Or one of the orbs, it'll be an 88% increase over live. So it is an increase.
The exact numbers of the drop rates, these are all Fasani, so Nightmare will be a little bit more rare, but it will still get these percent buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so read us some of the new ones.
Okay, yeah,
Significant ones, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for if you wanted any specific orb, this is insane. Also, just to harken back real quick because I thought it'd be interesting.
Just loop back real quick.
No, it would just be interesting to know. So the part that I voiced and said was just obscene that they're referencing it is that they didn't want to diminish the people that have completed Fasani's. Do you want to guess how many players have hit the technical drop rate for completing the boss?
Like 5. 300.
Less than 100.
Less than 100?
Less than 100 players have hit the actual drop rate for what would be the theoretical completion of this boss.
It's just most people who have everything have just got super spooned.
they either got super spooned or they still haven't done it, which is probably more than the case.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I guess, for instance, a specific orb is 1 out of 3,000
Currently,
which is 30,000 hours. And no, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Or for Fasani, Casey.
No,
it's like 10 minutes. You get an average 6.5 kills an hour.
It is 30,000 minutes though, and that will be improved from 1 out of 3,000 to 1 out of 1,600. So nearly half the rate, which is
it says it's an 87.5% buff to it. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's a pretty big buff, almost 100% buff, which is
it's huge,
pretty good. That being said, they do have a list of all of these. I'm not going to read them all, but it's
And that
cool.
was just specific orbs, just to be clear, that any orb would now be 1 out of 533.
Yeah.
So it's not like, not that crazy to get in a single orb.
Yeah, so I do have I did some math and I even asked Michelle what her thoughts were compared to other bosses. For example, like if you were to farm
They did some
any,
math too, by the way.
yeah, no, I used this to
Did
get
you?
my original math. So for instance, if you wanted to get any piece here, it's going to take you about 18 hours to get any unique, any. And for instance, if you wanted to farm specifically one of the Bandos pieces, it would take you like 5.
Okay.
So that was the initial thing that I proposed to you. But luckily, someone else was thinking the way I was, and they actually have a full breakdown of the hours it would take to get other notable things in the game.
Oh,
And this is, they have the live game, the current proposal, and with a 300% increase
that they just add
that they
themselves.
just did themselves, so
Okay.
you can see how obscene these drop rates
Sure.
still
What are
are.
some of these?
So, for instance, the harmonized orb. This is probably the most
Popular orb.
talked about part because it was originally 1 out of 3,000. And it is obviously one of the best items in the game, especially once they add elemental weaknesses. So the harmonized orb, currently, it takes 246 hours to get the harmonized orb. And with a 300% increase, it takes 152 hours.
Jesus.
Quite a big buff, but
That's the non-existent that we don't
that's the
have.
non-existent
Yeah.
one. Oh, sorry. The original is 454 hours. The proposal that they just posted is 246 hours, with the theoretical 300% being at 152. So still a lot of hours. 152 is a lot of hours.
That's
Um,
more rare than the shadow. Well, 115, 185
yeah,
hours for a shadow, and the shadow's better.
yeah. So if you wanted to farm the shadow, they have a reference here. It's between 115 and 185 hours, which it is the best staff in the game, bar none. Arguably the best item in the game, bar none.
It's so busted.
And it is definitely a lot longer to get the harmonized orb with their current proposal. It's 246 hours again. So that's almost 100 hours at least more.
I definitely think it should be rare because it's I don't know why. It's just because it has been. I don't know.
Sure.
It's like a really good weapon and stuff. But
Yeah.
I don't think it should be rarer than the shadow.
Yeah.
Maybe like
So
a little bit less, like 150 hours.
if that's not convincing enough, like your Michelle, maybe these will be more convincing.
Okay.
So the current proposal, if you, and these are all the new buffed rates, for the current proposal, if you wanted a specific Inquisitor piece, let's say you need the chest, you already got the pants,
And there's
it'll
no dew
take
protection.
roughly 108 hours. Okay. A specific Bandos piece is 14.
Hmm.
Like 1/8 the amount of time.
Confused because it says in their notes, assuming 6.5 kills per hour, this takes the average number of hours per unique down from around 26 hours to around 18 hours. How are you getting these big numbers if it says 18 hours on here? Is it just because, oh, it's any unique, it could be anything on the table?
Yeah, this is any that's why it's facetious,
Mm-hmm.
because they put 18 hours for any unique. We're talking specifically pieces you want. You don't care about the maze probably,
Yeah.
or the staff, or any of the orbs that isn't the harm orb. You probably just want the Inquisitor piece that you don't have yet.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, it would take this long.
So you think it still needs to be more common?
Yeah. Yeah. I do still think it should be a little bit more common. For instance, you could get 2 enhanced crystal weapon seeds and actually 2 more enhanced crystal weapon seeds. So 4 total, and that would be the new proposed time
That's
for
funny.
you to get an Inquisitor's mace.
I think that it still should be a long grind because Nightmare is a later game and very hard boss.
You
So
don't
it feels
think
appropriate.
you
But I don't
don't
think it should be this bad.
I agree, but also you're telling me the gauntlet, which is also a 10-minute encounter,
True.
shouldn't be comparable to this?
I think Nightmare's harder than Gauntlet. It has way more mechanics. You haven't done Nightmare. You haven't been there. You don't know what I've done.
I think,
You don't know.
okay, even if it was more difficult, do you think it is 4 times more difficult? So it should be 4 times less
I
rewarding?
don't think it should be 4 times less rewarding, but I do think it is a lot harder. And
Yeah.
you have to use your own supplies too. Like you don't like get everything built in. You have to like run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which makes it all a more annoying thing in general.
Anyways, it was really nice that this person was able to do this, do the theoretical 300% buff, so you could see like even if they buffed the rate by 300%, you could still get 2 enhanced crystal weapon seeds in the time it would take you to get an Inquisitor's mace. So if you like comparing things like that, then this will help you out. I just thought it was interesting to bring up and compare and see what other people thought. I think that long grinds are good for the game, but this type of grind is
Too much.
like pet. I like pets, for instance. One
Which
out of three
side note, the
thousand.
pets in jar are not changing the drop rate.
No, they're
Just
not.
these.
Yeah, so 1 out of 3,000, 1 out of 5,000. Those are strictly cosmetic things. Those are for prestige. I don't care how long they take. It's a cool thing to have if you get lucky.
Yeah, but if it's something that you need, that's
The
annoying.
Yeah, the fact that these items are not like the pinnacle best in slot everywhere type of items, and they take longer to get than all of TOA, all of theater, or all of, you know, what is it,
Chambers
chambers. It's obscene.
is weird.
It makes no sense,
Yeah.
and it's been like that. And the reason I also laughed about the blowpipe is because that's a weird thought process, because there's an in between fixing something right away and fixing something years down the line that you know was already a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Nightmare's been a problem. It's just coming up because this is the rework.
No, it is such a fun boss, and exactly, no one goes there because it's not money, and you know you're not going to get unique.
Yeah,
It
it's
is a really fun boss, though.
it's not cool.
Yeah.
So I don't like their methodology, and I don't like these changes because it
Okay.
should be more.
But that's all we've got for this update. We're in a position now where we feel we've been achieving the majority of our core aims with the Project Rebalance and feel comfortable with an upcoming launch to follow up with the feedback tweaks like any other update. Kind of like what you were saying, mid-May ish.
Yeah, hopefully.
We know there are a lot more things you'd like to see added in or touched upon, but for now we want to focus on what we've got and making any necessary tweaks after rather than stretching ourselves too thin and coming back with a new blog each week where we had just 1 or 2 extra things, which I mean is fair, you know. The blogs are kind of a lot. But we're immensely appreciative for all the time you spent discussing everything we've shared, and we're excited, if not a little terrified, to see that discussion turned up to 11 once we get into the realm of post-release tweaks. Let us know what you think about today's updated blog in all the usual places.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's gonna be it for this Project Rebalance. Hopefully, I mean,
Hopefully it's fun.
yeah, hopefully that's okay.
It's better than it was. Could it be a little bit better, though?
Yeah, generally, my sentiment.
Yeah.
We can move into this week's final block and this week's update, which is going to be the Varlamore tweaks, game jam, and more. Yeah.
So this week marks the start of our 5th biannual game jam, and so today's update is rather on the small side. But tune in next week to see what we've been up to. Starting out with some Varlamore feedback tweaks. Last week's fresh batch of CA saw you taking on Perilous Moons and Forest Coliseum in droves. Notably absent from the festivities were Zerker builds, who are limited to 45 defense and are therefore extra challenged when completing CAs. Obtaining the prestigious Zuck on these accounts is no small feat, and unfortunately 2 of the last week's achievements added were literally impossible for them. So now, Betrayal now only requires you to use a Perilous Moon's weapon for your fight instead of the full set. This heavily incentivizes the use of a full set, but lets everybody have a go if they don't mind making things harder on themselves. I Brought Mine Too has been updated to include all spears in Hosta. Before you had to use a specific Hosta to kill Soul Heredit.
Yeah, and someone did ask, and it was confirmed that, for instance, if you use a Zami Hasta for the fight and then switch to a Crystal Halberd for the spec, it should still count for the CA.
Okay. Yeah, so update include all spears and hosta as well as halberds. Spears, hosta grant defense XP on every combat style, so we've included halberds in the mix to keep on theme and provide a more strength-focused alternative. Know that the fight feels even trickier with the halberd, and you might have to unlearn a little bit of muscle memory to tick this one off. So, I mean, if you're on a Zerker going for Grandmaster CAs, you're probably already gaming anyway. You got this.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine.
And I don't really know where else to include this besides right here. So it's not exactly related, but someone in this update comment section also asked about the Elder Maw. And they're asking if after the rebalance, it'll be a guaranteed hit on Tecton similar to the Dragon Warhammer. And it will be.
Oh,
The first one.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, it was very random.
Or I don't know about the first one, but they do say that the Elder Maw special attack will be guaranteed on Tecton.
Okay, we don't know if it's both or just one.
Yeah.
Beyond the bloodshed and brutality of combat achievements, we've got more changes in and around the Shining Kingdom this week. They adjusted the weight of various Moons of Peril rewards. I'm obviously not going to go over these weights.
They were all too heavy, so now they're all slightly less heavy.
So light, it's kind of goofy to imagine that piece of armor just being like 0.4 kilograms. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not a lot, right?
I mean, half a kilogram is still like 1 pound, 1.5 pounds.
No, it's a full helm. It feels like it should be heavy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're made out of. I
Whatever.
mean, if they're made out of kebits, it's probably not that heavy.
Should we go back and forth on these?
Sure.
Okay, you start out.
So, unbuilt Quetzal landings will now be easier to see.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like read it word for word. Okay. Updated the names of various speed-related combat achievements in the Coliseum to be in line with others.
Players who ran out of members are now able to freely reclaim Quetzin and Small Heredit upon gaining members again.
The Manti Mayhem modifier will no longer be offered as an option going into Wave 12 since it doesn't do anything during the Soul Heredit fight.
People were sad.
I was gonna say that would have been so nice. You're going for the quiver and you get to choose that and it doesn't even affect it.
Yeah, people were sad because it's, like you said, free.
Yeah, but not fair, I guess.
Yeah. Soul Heredit will no longer damage players with his grab attack after he's run out of hit points, so sorry for anyone that died to that.
Whoops. Kebity Tufts from Hunter Rumors can now only be handed in if they are obtained from the same Kebit that you've been assigned. People cheesing it again?
This was probably one of the biggest uproars of the community this
I
week.
think it's like Foe or someone like a bigger creator posted a screenshot and was like, "Who told them?" or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know this was a thing. I'm
I
sure
wasn't
a
thinking
lot of
that.
people didn't.
I think
But
it was a down low thing that people were using.
yeah, so quickly to explain it, I mean, even though it doesn't exist anymore, is so there's multiple hunter masters you can go to. And so what people would do is they would go to one of the hunter masters and be like, "Oh, I got a dashing Kebit," which is good. Those ones are fast.
Yeah.
The task itself. So what they would do is they would go to the other taskmaster and ask them for another task, and if they got any of the other Kebits,
They could
which
do death.
were the deadfall ones, all the slow rumors, you could technically be like, all right, cool, that's the one that I'm gonna have for this guy. Go back to the dashing Kebit guy, start that one, get the tuft from the dashing Kebit, and then go back to the other taskmaster, start his, and give him what would
The
have
fur.
been the fur for the other task,
So
completing it much faster.
the issue was that every Kebit, no matter what, had the same tuft of fur as a reward.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can just choose to use the fast rumor for the slow rumor, increasing your XP a lot.
I don't even think any of them are that slow.
They are much slower.
Oh. Well, I've been going to Masters, and the ones that I get just like a dark Kebit.
This doesn't
Like
this is
94.
this isn't a tactic for masters.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, because most people don't.
I need to
Have
do Masters.
Masters.
Masters aren't even the best for the pet. Experts are.
Yeah, so that's why that's why the strategy wasn't employed for masters, because people will just say don't do them.
Yeah, I didn't know that until
Yeah.
recently.
So the reason that this is so good is not only could you make the other Kebit ones faster, this would also improve your block list.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Because
to
you
do
don't need
this.
to block the slow Kebit ones.
I
So
need some Hunters of Rumors, man. I haven't been in a couple weeks.
that being said, while obviously a lot of people were upset because now they're all like, "Oh, it's going to take me longer. Now I don't
Yeah.
want to do rumors, whatever." Some people were obviously coming out and being like, "Yeah, this is good that they did this because one, it wasn't meant to be that way, and
Cheating a little
two,
bit.
Yeah, and two, hopefully that means that they'll like fix it. They do have some fixes, but they're not coming right away. And yeah, unfortunate. I didn't even know it worked that way. I had to like look up like what people were even doing.
Yeah.
And along those lines, there are several posts on people that are more involved with rumors on the new block list,
Meta.
like meta tactic in order to make it not as annoying, even with the new downgrade.
Okay. Yeah, those are on Reddit if you guys want to see.
Yeah, there's several posts, so I would check them out if you enjoy rumors.
Um, Another Kebbit thing. Razorback Kebbit footprints have been made darker so that they don't blend in with the environment quite as much. While not strictly Varlamar related, hunter rumors have led to them seeing a little more engagement than they're used to, of course.
Yep. Also, bees in the Coliseum are now easier to see and keep track of.
It's now possible to charge multiple Quetzal whistles at once. Ugh.
Pretzel pretzels.
Shush.
They updated the appearance of the Camtorn pickaxe stall.
Finally, an apology. A few changes were included in a previous news post by mistake, but are only going live today. So, a reminder, we did mention these last week, though. Nagua are now classified as spectral creatures, so should offer prayer XP when killed if the player has an ectoplasmator
Ectoplasmatter.
plasmatter in their inventory.
Rune prices in Nada's shop should increase at a rate of 0.1% as opposed to 1%.
Mapping around these sunlight antelopes has been improved so they don't get stuck quite as often where you're hunting them, which they keep saying every week.
Well, this is obviously like you said from last.
No, they've said it like 2 times.
A million
They
times.
keep changing it more and more because they suck.
Deadfall NPCs had their pathing improved as well.
The fur and meat pouches can now be opened to automatically accept their storeable items. Additionally, their contents can be emptied directly into the bank. That one's really nice.
Yeah. And lastly, Impling jars and Ring of Pursuit can now be stored inside the Huntsman kit.
Cool.
There's also a few bug fixes as well.
Yeah, so they fixed, these are not related to Barlamar. They fixed a bug where the imbued Slayer helmet wasn't refunding the point scroll used to imbue it in some instances when lost on death.
They moved the elite clue step from the Wildy Agi chorus to a small mound south of the pirates' hideout.
If an NPC is afflicted by venom, standard poison attacks will no longer downgrade the venom effect to a poison effect.
Yeah, when you charge the Tome of Fire, it now tells you what kind of page was used to charge it, meaning that if you're using burnt or searing pages, you'll know.
And finally, Leo's dialogue in the Gravedigger random event is no longer as ridiculously long.
Gratuitously loquacious.
Sorry. Gratuitously loquacious. Holy moly. Gratuitously loquacious.
There you go. So also this week is going to be the week that they're rolling out the update for report abuse. So yeah, now you can report people more easier.
They did have to say an apologies to Dodgy Git, who they use as their little experiment thing. They said, we saw your post, but we use the same image. We're sure you're a lovely rule-abiding player despite your username.
Yeah, I saw their posts.
Did you really? Yeah. That's funny.
And also, I mean, they have some news about Game Jam number 5. So they call it Jame Gam, which is
funny because we call it Gam Jam.
It's Gam
and that
Jam.
sounds better.
So they do these things twice a year. If you're new here, they do it. They started doing it like 3 years ago. So now
2.
I think it's 2.5 because this is the 5th.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, this is how they set up the roadmap going forward and pursue passion projects. So there's not going to be any updates this week. This is how
scurrious, guys.
The Perilous Moons as well, Project Rebalance, and more. So
Moons. Wow.
Cool. Yeah. So hopefully some more cool stuff will come out. Until Monday, May 6th is when there's going to be no update next week. As well.
You worded that wrong. Some cool stuff will come out, but not next week.
No, I said until Monday, May 6th next week. Which, yeah, that's going to be the end of it. But because of that, we won't be getting a game jam. Or we won't be getting an update, not a game jam. But they do have some stuff you can check out in the meantime, which is other content creators.
Yeah, so Gilnor Games is coming back with Season 4. It's going to premiere on Saturday, May 4th at 6 p.m. UTC on OSRS's Twitch and YouTube channels. There's a little trailer for it. I don't like watching trailers. I just like being surprised by stuff.
I don't like watching anything. And
it's actually pretty good.
If you do like watching things, though, you can check out Skill Specs. They got the RuneScape cookbook, and they will be showcasing the cooking skills yet again on their Twitch channel.
Yeah, I guess I've seen a lot of people talking about doing cooking stream with the cookbook. It's kind of cute.
Yeah. I am going to talk about this one. I know you were about to, but I need to talk about it because there's been some drama around it.
Oh, there's been drama.
And so I cannot recommend these, unfortunately.
Other people.
No.
Say your piece,
Okay.
and then I might stop you.
So these do seem to be high quality. Their light up things do seem to be high quality. So creator crafted merch.
If you're talking about the hoodie, it's someone else.
No, I am not
Okay.
talking about the hoodie.
If you know, you know.
So creator crafted merch. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is done with content creators as well. So they just launched 3 new LED designs: the Wise Old Man, Dragon Warhammer, and Tumakin's Warden,
They look very pretty.
all featuring artwork from the talented Golden Gnome finalist Artistic Imp. Nothing against them when I'm about to say this.
Also, Witchycraft's partner with them for
And
plushes.
Witchycraft. It's specifically about Witchycraft. They're
Oh, you're
also,
joking. I was like,
I'm not joking.
wait, what?
They're also offering a brand new mousepad design by the talented Uber. It actually looks really cool. It's Fortis Coliseum themed.
It's very pretty.
So it's not that I would recommend against any of these items in particular, but there has been a lot of pictures about the creator crafted plushies.
What's wrong with them?
For whatever reason, whether it's to keep up with demand or whatever, they have updated the pictures on the Creator Crafted website and they are significantly lower in quality.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something like they were lying or something about the
No.
quality. Okay, you scared me. I was like, she's really nice. It
No,
probably is the
it's nothing, yeah,
demand.
it's nothing against Witchy or anything like that, but the Creator Crafted plushies do not look good.
Do they look bad or are you being
They
dramatic?
look not good, is what I mean.
It's the first one.
Look at
I think
there's
it's
other
good.
ones.
You know that one's cute.
No,
Oh.
they have design changes. So if you go to Creator Crafted plushies, they have a thing that says just released. There have been design changes showing before and afters of the plushies. And look at they
Yeah, they did say the reasoning though. There actually is. I mean, what I consider kind of a fair reasoning that they're hiding internal stitching and using embroidered design elements on small details like teeth, eyes, and noses so they last longer over time. So they look less detailed. They look a lot less detailed for that reason.
they okay, this is obviously my opinion, but a lot
Yeah.
of other people have made posts about this with similar sentiment, but the quality seems to be not nearly as specifically accurate and also just as good.
The Bloodhound still looks good though.
Yeah, the
Goofy
bloodhound.
little
Yeah,
guy.
it's a
He's
little
a little
dog.
dog.
You know, it's a little
Yeah.
dog. But
Baby still looks okay, alright.
it's
It's just Jad looks a little.
the last three, the dog, the elemental, as well as
The nibbler.
yeah, the nibbler. They don't seem bad. The first two, Jad as well as Duke, not the quality compared to the first one, I guess, is the main shock factor because the first ones looked really good in my opinion.
I think now what I would guess is now because they're working with like a different website, they probably have manufacturers that are sending like more bulk stuff and they probably can't afford maybe as niche things.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
It's
It doesn't look
unfortunate,
bad by any means. It doesn't look as detailed as it used to.
bro.
I don't think it looks bad. I just like Jed. But it did look better before.
Yeah.
I think the Baron actually still looks good because Baron's just goofy.
The thing is, these are $40, brother.
I know.
I don't know. Yeah,
People are upset about it.
yeah, people are upset about it, and people have even like been like, "Wow, I ordered like some of their lights, which are cool, but because of this, I'm not gonna like buy their plushies."
That makes me sad because Witchycraft is like really
Yeah, I was gonna say,
sweet.
honestly, it sucks for Witchy Crafty because I doubt she had pretty much any say in this, and it's just like blatantly lower quality. You know, whether it's a lot or a little, it's obviously lower quality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really unfortunate because the original ones I thought were really high
I think the
quality.
original ones were like homemade. These ones might not be homemade.
Exactly. A lot of people are guessing that because of the increased demand, that potentially they had to lower the quality and or they went with, you
A
know,
manufacturer.
whether it's demand or saving money, whatever reason, it seems to be more of a like capitalist reason and not a
Mm.
quality reason that they
Yeah.
changed, which is unfortunate because
I would still buy some of them. The Jad though, I used to like the Jad and I don't like the Jad as much. I still like his little butt though.
I think Michelle is being generous. The Jad looks straight up goofy.
I actually think the Baron looks nice because he always looks goofy. So I think it still works.
Yeah,
And the Bloodhound's still cute.
the Bloodhound. Yeah. unfortunate. I just had to bring that up because obviously this is what we're going over, which is the other creator crafted stuff. The lights do look really high quality, so I wouldn't stray away from that. But maybe rethink your plushie purchase if you like the original design.
Or just let them know that you like the original design and maybe they'll bring that back. They even say
Yeah,
like, "Do you
maybe.
like this? If not, contact us."
Yeah.
Because yeah, she's really nice and she's very talented.
No,
So
I'm
I
not.
hope.
Yeah.
No, I know. I just hope that people aren't like gonna write her off as a creative now or something.
No, yeah. It didn't seem like literally anyone thought like it was
Her fault.
partly her doing.
Okay, glad.
It just
I was like, that would make me really sad.
I didn't even know it was a thing, so I had to bring it up because
People aren't happy.
people were like, "Yo,
They're just making like having the Jad speak really English.
yeah, it's just not. It's just kind of it's funny. I laugh at it, and I'm not like, oh, this is cool. I'm like, oh, this is funny looking.
It looks worse than it did.
Yeah,
But yeah.
but that's it.
And the PvP arena will be using one defense peer loadouts.
Yep. So that's gonna be it. We can move on to questions.
I still feel like the Jad looks
No,
okay.
this is the original.
Yeah, I know. It is.
Bro,
It looks like
when you look at
the side by side makes it more
the side by side of what is this Duke
barren.
Baron, the side by side of Baron is
It must just be like I'm assuming that they were like, there's a lot of demand. We need
yeah
to get cheaper supplies.
yeah.
So
That's what people are
someone
saying
said,
is that must be it. I wonder if Witchy. I don't even know if she's allowed to say anything, but
she probably would have a contract with them where she couldn't, to be honest, right?
I don't know if that would be stipulated in there. But like,
They're also big on design by instead of made by her, where previously they used to be made by her. Which I
yeah,
think was on the website too. It doesn't say made by her, it says designed by. So they might have sent it to a manufacturer.
yeah.
It ruins the vibe a little bit, but some
Unfortunate.
people might still like
If you got the
them.
first round, you got some collectibles.
Anyway, Q&A time.
Yes.
Our first question is from Matt over on Discord. I was listening to another RuneScape podcast the other day where they were talking about drinking energy drinks to try and stay awake for as many hours as possible on big release days to be the first to complete something. I know a lot of people do this, and it's honestly super dangerous for physical and mental health, for decision making, etc. On one hand, I wish Jagex would do something about this, like put a 12-hour play restrictions on accounts on big release days, but it also sounds communist to do that, which I feel like was a very funny thing to say.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on extreme consecutive hours in RuneScape? I also know sometimes you have long Twitch streams. Have you ever done something you wish you didn't because you're really tired? Fem Yeet Greet also replied to this saying, to be fair, they do have the 4-hour notification, 6-hour force logout automated per login session, but like you hop worlds and you're fine.
Yeah.
Like
Or you just log back in.
yeah, or you just log back in. It doesn't really stop you. But if people were forced to log out, I think they would just go on another account. Like they're not gonna not play if they want to play.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because they have parental restriction availability in World of Warcraft. And whenever I first started playing, my parents would only let me, like, you can actually do it between, like, certain hours is when you're allowed to play, or you can limit it to a total amount of time played. And so I was only allowed to play between certain hours. And then I don't even know how, but I convinced them to, like, do that or undo that, or I somehow got in and turned it off or something. But that was awful.
Yeah.
Awful from a gaming perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on extreme consecutive? I've done it. It's probably not good for you,
Yeah.
but I don't think anything you could do is gonna stop it.
Yeah.
People would just make more alt accounts that they could just keep practicing on until they could log back into their main.
Yeah, and also that's a gaming thing.
It's not just RuneScape, yeah. It's
Yeah,
every game.
if someone couldn't get their fix on RuneScape, they would do something else. I mean, like a really famous case of this is someone in Korea played Diablo 3 so long they died. Really weird that you laughed at that,
It's just
but
more of a shocked laugh, like what?
they died in I think it was in a cyber cafe as well.
Oh, that's traumatizing for everyone there.
Or it could have been at home. I forgot which. There's been multiple since then, and funny enough, I think they have been for Diablo, both of them. But anyways, yeah, this isn't
They're
gonna
not good.
change. That being said, if you are taking high amounts of caffeine while doing this,
Please
that
don't.
is a big amateur move. You, if you want to stay up a long time,
Do cocaine.
if you want to stay up a long time, you don't take caffeine.
Okay. Oh, because caffeine has a crash, right?
It's just not necessary. It's like
What would you do instead?
it doesn't give you more energy, it staves off your tiredness. So unless you're constantly taking like increasingly higher doses of caffeine, it'll wear off and you'll just become more tired because it'll catch up with you.
Yeah.
So it's like not a sustainable thing for a long period of time.
That's like me with my coffee. Like, I don't take coffee, doesn't make me feel more awake necessarily, but it's just drinking something sweet makes me feel more awake.
Yeah, like things that'll make you more energetic are drinking water, doing
Cocaine.
activities like push-ups, and eating like other things that have naturally occurring higher levels of energy, like an apple.
Gamers ain't gonna do that, Robert.
I'm just saying, I've stayed up for much longer than most gamers in one sitting, and it's just accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's good for anyone's health, but yeah, I don't think it'll change. And have you ever done something you wish you didn't because you were really tired? In game? Should we say in game or in real life? Or both? We'll say both.
Well, yeah, mine was whenever I first woke up, I compromised my RuneScape account.
Oh, that was when you first woke up, huh? Yeah, he got
Yeah.
hacked.
I was like reverse tired.
Yeah, he fell for one of the tricks and got hacked. Um, I can't think of in game, but once I was driving really tired and I guess I fell asleep at the wheel and I got pulled over.
There you go.
Don't drive tired, guys. And now I just hate driving. As soon as I get even slightly tired, I'm like, I'm pulling over and walking around.
Yeah, but
I've,
yeah,
I mean, like, I haven't really done anything like too stupid. I just go and like do things that waste time whenever I'm tired. People will be like, go try this, and I'll just try something and die over and over. But I haven't done anything that's like really messed up my account, thankfully, yet. There's still
yeah,
time. There is still time.
yeah. 12 hours of play is also not that long, so I don't think you definitely don't need energy drinks for that.
Yeah, unless you like start late. Well, we're also. It depends what time the update is.
Yeah, yeah. I still don't think that's. I mean, you can ease pretty easily stay up for 24 hours without any caffeine.
Anyway, Harger's question: would you agree to a music room in your POH where you could create your own OSRS music using the existing OSRS sound library and play it for guests in your house?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that sounds fun. It weirdly reminds me of Animal Crossing. It's not the same at all, but you can do like a little like 12-note tune for your town and customize it. It'd be kind of like that. And
Yeah.
then you'd probably like open up OBS and record it. And it would be like making your own mixes for free while logged in.
I think, bro, they should just straight rip this from Final Fantasy because Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO.
Yes.
Um, they have one of the sickest like custom music things. I don't even know what you call it. But anyways, it's not uncommon to be like running around in Final Fantasy 14 and come across like I don't know, 3 to 7 people all playing different instruments, and it actually is a real life song.
Oh, that's cute.
Crazy.
Like they have to have skill to do it?
No, like they
Okay.
they made it in the game, and their
Mm.
character plays the pre-made thing that they made, and
Oh,
it's one instrument. So all of them are playing different instruments, and it comes together to be an actual song. Like
that's so cool.
I saw people. It was like literally 5 or 6 people playing, like one of Miley Cyrus's songs. Like it might have been like a Party in the USA or something like
Yeah.
that. Like they were playing it, and it was very obviously that song.
That's really cool. How creative.
Yeah, so they should just add that to the game
It would
because
make
that was
things
cool.
sounding more fun if you wanted to turn your volume. You could just have people playing music.
Yeah, it was pretty sick. And as far as I've seen and talked to other people that play the game, that's not uncommon.
Hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
I think a lot of people like that because it's something that's optional as well, and it doesn't affect literally anything in the game,
Yeah,
just for fun.
yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's it for our Q&A. Sorry, Wraith, another week of us not reading yours. I'm tired.
Unfortunately.
Sorry.
Yeah, this
We
is
went to a trampoline park today, and I fell a lot.
yeah. So this is a long episode. We're not gonna bore you with trampoline parks, but we can end it off here. If you did enjoy, you can check out any of our socials.
Yeah, our Twitter and TikTok are Bunebapeosrs. Our Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch are Bunebape. I stream 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape, so come hang out. But not for fundraising streams because they don't exist anymore. Kind of sad. It's okay.
Okay.
We're fine.
But yeah, so that's gonna be it. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you all.
Very soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.